Again, a couple of on-ramps are closed. The one to go eastbound on 440 from Nolensville Pike, and then the one to go westbound on 840 from I-24 in Rutherford County. Other than that, you've just got the usual brake tapping building up around the loop downtown. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. Welcome in, one and all. It's time. It's the Matt Murphy Radio Show underway for another day. Happy to have you with us on this Monday, December 15, 2020. Man, it's the middle of December already.
Yes,
Time flies. Time flies, as they say. There's Ken Weaver back in News Closet B. He's gathering headlines, delivering them twice an hour, and when it breaks. And man, oh man, has it been a busy news day.
Yeah, it's like you said earlier, it's a heavy news day, man.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Very heavy.
A lot going on, a lot of heaviness in the air, and we'll break it down for you and share some thoughts on everything that's happening around the globe, around the United States of America, and right here in the state of Tennessee for the afternoon hours from 3 until 7 o'clock. That's our allotment of time. Happy to be with you. I hope you had a great weekend. Hope you had a wonderful time this weekend. Hope you spent some time with family and friends, and hope you stayed warm because it is rather cool. There's Ken Weaver. We mentioned him. Look who has decided to return. The prodigal son is back from a triumphant, I would assume, easy for me to say, trip to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Jackson Williams.
Yes, sir, Brother Jax.
What's up? How you doing, guys?
Doing good, Brother Jackson.
I'm doing all right.
All right.
There we go. That's one person in the back of the room applauding.
Woo!
No, Ken Weaver's applauding. There he goes. Jackson, I just have some breaking news.
What's up?
I just found out how much it would cost me to take you in very, very good style to the Music City Bowl.
Okay.
We could have, we could go in a suite.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to cost us, though.
Oh, it's going to cost us?
Or me,
Are we
I
going
assume.
to have to grease the wheels a little bit?
I don't know. I'm thinking we're going to be in the upper deck and not in a suite, is what I think. Based on the amount of money that it's going to cost us to get inside of the suite, which I was hoping it would be a slightly lower price point. Hey, Ken, you going over to that Oklahoma Sooner, Alabama Crimson Tide football game Friday night?
No, sir. I'll be watching it from my living room, though.
What channel's that on?
That is on ABC.
Oh, good for you. Good.
Yeah. First, I thought it was going to be TNT, and I don't get TNT anymore.
You don't get the YouTube TV anymore?
No, I got rid of it, dude.
Well,
I'm not putting up with all those shenanigans anymore. And now that my team's in the SEC, everything's on ESPN, so I just bought ESPN.
Yeah, I mean, I canceled ESPN Unlimited when the YouTube people, I went the other way on it.
Oh, when they brought it back?
When they brought it back and they figured it all out, then I said, well, I'm not paying both, and so I'll cancel the $30 as opposed to canceling the $80 or whatever the hell it is. So one way or the other, it should be a good foosball game, Ken.
I'm very nervous.
Monday to Tuesday, Tuesday to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So it's 4 days. What time's the game?
7 o'clock, I believe.
4 days and 4 hours and counting, Ken, until kick. We'll do an official Boomer Sooner countdown for the rest of the week on the show.
All right.
Very, very exciting. I'm very excited for y'all.
Oh, I'm excited too. I'm just nervous.
Nervous as all get. Nervous as a one-legged man at a butt-kicking contest. Nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
Yes.
As my grandpa used to say.
Alabama Crimson Tide, they're mad.
Nervous as a prostitute in church.
I'm not touching that.
That's not the way that's normally said, but I tried to clean it up at the last second. So, Hope, Jackson, are you going to regale us later on with stories of Gatlinburg or what?
Yes, as well as my investment seminar.
Oh, you had a little time.
It was a quick seminar, a very quick investment seminar.
Really?
and a not very successful one.
It wasn't profitable for you?
It was not. It was not profitable. Did not get good market advice.
You were encouraged. You were encouraged to make poor investments.
I was encouraged to make poor investments.
That's unfortunate. Where were you making these investments?
I was in just over the border in North Carolina.
Like Cherokee, North Carolina.
Yes, just about.
Okay, all right. I think I know that investment symposium.
It's a nice one.
Oh, it's a lovely facility. I mean, you would think that they would offer you some pretty solid advice, considering how nice of a
nice facility. Not great investments.
Is that the one where you can't drink on the gambling floor? There's one over there.
If you can't, then I broke a rule.
Oh, okay. Or you can't there was one where you couldn't drink. It was weird.
It's not that one because I would have been breaking that rule, Matt.
Oh, because I remember looking at the lady saying, "You're telling me I can't go gamble while I drink?" And she said, "No, you have to do one or the other." It was very odd.
You have to pick a lane.
I mean,
you can only be a degenerate in one way in this casino, sir.
I was like, you realize one will lead to the other, and
yes, and make you more profitable,
right? And you'll be
See, bad investments.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry you didn't have a good. Did you want to tell us about the bear?
Oh, we were driving up the mountain on the way to Cherokee, North Carolina, for the investment seminar. As we were on the way back, we saw a bear.
Did you?
Yes, my brother-in-law shouted out, "Bear!"
Did he?
He did. He was driving the car. It scared all of us because we were on a windy mountain road.
That's a quote?
Yes, that is a direct quote. Bear!
Was it just one bear or a mama bear?
Just
and a
one
cubs?
bear eating some garbage, Ken. And then we saw a bald eagle in flight.
Well, that's nice.
It was awesome. First time I've ever seen one in person.
I don't know if you were traveling some of the same roads that I have traveled to Cherokee, North Carolina.
Do you just go? You don't take the interstate, right?
No,
you go up the mountain road.
Yeah, and it just trailers and old junked out cars and garbage.
No, just nature, just beautiful nature.
Yeah, well, there's an area fairly close to Cherokee, North Carolina. I think it's going the other way.
Coming from the other side of North Carolina.
Asheville.
Yeah.
Where is that where people get? Is that where the people who got bad investment advice live?
Or the people that work at the casino?
They do have a pawn shop right across the street to make more bad investment decisions.
Oh wow!
It's attached to a gas station. Weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Well, you might want to fill your car up before you. I mean, hey, I got to trade in this Rolex or this. Omega or whatever the hell, Timex, whatever the hell it is. How much will you give me for it? And I want you to fill it up on, you got to fill it up on pump 3. Give me the rest in cash so I can get on over here to the casino and lay it on lucky number 13. That's not good. Well, I hope you had fun.
Had a great time.
That cabin looked tip top, man.
Oh, it was just an Airbnb. It wasn't a cabin. It was a house.
Well,
the view was awesome.
Oh, I'm sorry I called it a cabin, Jackson. It looked like a cabin.
It was a house.
Okay, it was a house.
It was an Airbnb up in...
Cabins are houses too, Jackson. Okay, but it looked beautiful. It looked gorgeous. We
had a wonderful time.
Was there a hot tub?
There was.
Did you get in the hot tub, Jackson?
I did.
Yes, sir.
Were you drunk?
No comment.
Fair.
Next question.
Fair. No, that's it. That's all I got so far. I'll let you know if I have any more. We have a couple of guests to tell you about. Justin Owen with the Beacon Center is going to stop by, kind of give us a year in review as to how we did in 2025 in Tennessee and across the United States of America and what we can expect out of 2026. Once again, Justin Owen with the Beacon Center coming up this hour. At 4:35 this afternoon, we'll speak to Brink Fiddler. He's with Defense Systems, and we oftentimes lean on Brink and his expert analysis when we have mass shootings along the likes that we saw in Australia I'm going to say, is it Bondi or Bondi?
Bondi.
Bondi Beach. Bondi Beach in Australia. Obviously, that's just a horrific, religiously motivated attack. And we'll try to get to the bottom of that. And imagine this, for months we saw in 2025 individuals around the United States of America screaming about globalizing the intifada. Didn't the newly elected mayor of New York City say the same thing? and he was called out on it, and they gave him an opportunity to pull that back, and he wouldn't pull that back. No. That's just a phrase that we use to mean that we support the Palestinian people. Imagine that you use the phrase globalize the intifada, and then you want to take your hands off of any direct or indirect culpability when people take you up on it and try to globalize the intifada, which is apparently what happened on the West Coast and was uncovered by the FBI. We will discuss the details as the FBI has arrested 4 individuals responsible for a terror plot that was planned on New Year's Eve. They already had the bombs ready. Several sites throughout the Los Angeles area. The individuals were members of the Turtle Island Liberation Front, which I assume one could have a good time with and make a lot of fun about. And, oh, yeah, they're turtles. And I'm not against that, and I'm not knocking it. What I am saying is these people wanted to kill you and me and everybody else. So, I mean, have a good time with it. Oh, yuck it up, fuzzball, until they kill people, and then you won't be laughing about the Turtle Liberation Front. Now, I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm just saying that I've all day long, oh, that turtle, that's so funny, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, it was real damn funny that they had bombs that they wanted to kill people with. That's real funny. I mean, once again, you know, people want to suggest that this type of language doesn't matter until it does. Now, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And no, I don't support what Donald Trump did. And no, I don't support what he said. And you get it. It is a byproduct of what we get with Donald Trump. You get pure, unadulterated authenticity with Donald Trump. You get pure, unadulterated authenticity with Donald Trump. And with that authenticity comes sometimes uncomfortableness, I guess. And so we've got that to talk about today as well. We've got Rob Reiner to discuss. I mean, obviously that in its totality is very concerning. The Australian attack I mentioned, Rhode Island, the Brown University attack, which is a completely odd set of circumstances there, as we don't truly understand. Well, we don't have a suspect, and they thought they had a suspect, but then it turns out they did not have a suspect. So who knows where that story's going? Interesting story coming out of Washington D.C. as Police Chief Pamela Smith has been manipulating crime data in, quote, order to maintain the appearance of a low crime rate in the nation's capital, according to a new report from the House Oversight Committee. Of course, Mayor Muriel Bowser claims that she didn't know anything about it. Of course you claim you didn't know anything about it. You on the telephone's most important, 615-737-9986, 615-737-9986. Would love to talk to you on this Monday edition. Obviously, it is our last full week before the Christmas holiday. We'll be here. I'll be here. I don't think I will be here. I'll be here.
I'll be here.
Ken, you here till Christmas Eve, or you off Christmas Eve?
I am here on Christmas Eve.
I'm here on Christmas Eve myself.
I will
Hey,
not be.
Jackson, you here on Christmas Eve?
I'm not.
What's up with that?
I will be working that day.
Yeah. You know, I want to address.
You want to
this.
talk about
I
this?
wanna
Okay,
talk
we can
about
talk about this.
I want to talk about this. Hey, Ken.
Okay, I'm gonna start.
Oh, are you now?
Yes, because
this is
this is my business.
Okay.
This is my business that we're bringing to the forefront
yes,
on the radio.
We are a family, and we bring family business to the table. Let's
What is
go.
it, Brother Jackson?
Let's go,
So,
Jackson.
I was originally taking off Christmas Eve because I do have family gatherings in the evening.
Yes, sir.
That conflict with the show, so I took off. But then somebody needed coverage on the Buck Rising show on the Zone that gets off at 1 p.m., so it worked out. So I'm going to be hanging out with Buck on Christmas Eve.
So you're working Christmas Eve.
I will see you on Christmas Eve, yeah.
So you're working Christmas Eve.
I'm working.
You're just not working on
I just won't be working with you.
your own show.
No.
You've abandoned your own show for another show.
No. I abandoned you to take off.
So, I mean, you mentioned family in that statement, in that poorly constructed statement. I mean, you sound like Diego Pavia apologizing for saying F you to the Heisman voters. So you in that poor statement that you just made, you mentioned family, and I would think that you would have thought of your radio family when making some of these decisions.
No, not really. I'm going to hang out with my actual family.
Well, Ken, you and I'll be here, and we'll have snacks galore.
There better not be. I'll be here for the snacks. I'll be here till about 1:30, 2 o'clock. There's time for snacks.
Jackson, I think all the snacks are coming this week.
Yeah,
I think that's what I understand.
Woo.
That's what I was told after a weekend of anniversary celebration in the Murphy household. That's right.
Congratulations
Thank
to
you.
your brother Murphy, you and E.
I know. 20. We're well into drinking age.
Yes, you are.
And we're at 23 now. What are y'all
23?
at over there? What are y'all at over there, Ken? Do you talk about it?
We are 31 years.
Wow.
Ken, your marriage is older than I am.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, most things are, Jackson. Most things are. You think Buck's going to get you a nice holiday gift?
No, but
No.
it just worked out,
Yeah.
bud. I'm not gonna.
You think Matt's going to get you a nice holiday gift now
hope
that
so.
you've decided to abandon us? What do you want for Christmas? I need to know pretty quickly.
I don't know.
You better
trust you.
You better let me know this week.
I trust you.
And then I got your birthday coming up. Why do I worry about these things when you leave us?
Oh, I'm taking 2 days off, and the rest you're
took
taking with me.
Friday off.
Yeah, Friday, and then the Christmas Eve.
And
And then I'm taking a good portion of what you're taking off.
went to hang out with the big bears of Gatlinburg.
I did. I saw bear and elk. Never seen elk before. You ever seen elk?
Yes, sir.
I have never seen an elk in person.
I saw
don't
like
believe.
20 of them.
I
They
you
were
know,
in the road on the right when you're going back up the mountain from Cherokee.
I understand they're pretty big.
Huge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They'll get you, too, if you're not careful.
Oh yeah. Oh, they'll come. They're wild. That's wild.
Yes, sir.
That's wild stuff up there.
We got past the elk, and then we saw the bald eagle
In flight,
in flight.
soaring high above the beautiful
Yes,
state
in
of
the
Tennessee.
trees. It was awesome.
Did it
I
have
bet
big
it
old
was.
fish?
No, just
Well, it will.
yeah.
it
It was flying over the river. That was
It's getting ready.
in progress.
Yeah, it's getting ready.
That's cool.
That is pretty cool. All right, we've got lots to get into. We're gonna start the show, however, with a visit with Justin Owen of the Beacon Center, and to discuss how 2025 has gone by his estimation and what we can expect out of 2026. Obviously, we'll continue to break down some of the activity from over the weekend, to include the Australia attack, Rob Reiner's passing out in Los Angeles, well as murder. His son accused of killing Rob Reiner, and Rob Reiner's wife, the man's mother, Nick Reiner's mother and father, dead, and allegedly he is the responsible party in that. That's very sad. I mean, I didn't like Rob Reiner in life, but I'm not going to crap all over him in death. I'm just not going to do that. I'm not that person. I don't wish that on anybody. I wish good things for everyone. I want them to believe what I believe. I want you to believe what I believe. I believe that what I believe would make America a better place. And but I put his political position on some of these things aside. And, you can point me to all of the nastiness that he said in life about Donald Trump, and that's fine, well, and good. Don't you want to be better than that? I sure do. It's 24 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Back in a moment. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Cover Nash. It is time. Friends, you got to get a call in to Cover Nash, to Shane Ring, to let him assist you to make sure that you're not paying too much in 2026. Obamacare's at it again. We've been telling you this for weeks now, that premiums for 2026 are going up, in some cases tripling, and sky-high deductibles to match. You do not have to play by Washington's rules. Allow Shane Ring at Cover Nash to help you cut your cost by 40 to 60%. Keep any doctor, any hospital, skip the government red tape, and do it the right way with Shane Ring and Cover Nash. He has all of the plans available to you in Middle Tennessee at his fingertips. Whether you're self-employed, uninsured, or just tired of paying too much, Shane can assist you at Cover Nash. He is truly your healthcare concierge, and he can make the complex simple. It's like a mathematics exam when you start talking about health insurance, Shane can help you understand it and find the best policy for you. Real health coverage on your terms, not on the terms of the government. CoverDash.com or 615-465-0023, 465-0023.
Troubling news for Tennessee Veterans Care. I've got that story and more coming up at 3:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
All right, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I've only been on the radio for about 21 minutes, and I'm already running late. How does that happen? I don't understand it. Some would say it's me. 8167 says Jackson has gotten sassy toward his elders. Well, gotten. I mean, Jackson's been sassy toward his elders, and I don't know. I don't know what's been going on with him over the weekend, but you know what? The audience is noticing, Jackson. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, it's almost Christmas. We'll make that our New Year's resolution.
Oh, to do a little bit better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right. Jackson wants an Alabama hat for Christmas.
I'll burn it. Light it right on fire.
Well, it's your hat, Jackson. You can do whatever you want to with it. Hey, is that a new Tennessee hat? You wore that at the game that we went to.
Yeah, no, I bought this for the Georgia game.
You did. You bought that specifically for the Tennessee-Georgia game.
And I don't wear it on game days anymore.
Because it hurt you?
No, you don't lose the first game in a new hat, or you don't wear the hat anymore.
What, you're wearing it today?
Yeah, but you don't wear it on game days anymore.
Well, I hope the basketball team's not playing today.
They're not. They're playing tomorrow.
Did you check the volleyball schedule?
No comment.
We have
volleyball's done.
Let's you and I play nice in front of company. Justin Owen is here. of the Beacon Group, and I know Ken's got news to do. Hello, Justin.
Oh,
How are
thanks
you?
for having me on.
Hey, it's always a pleasure to have you. You doing all right?
I'm doing well.
How's your holidays going?
Going well.
Yeah?
Going to be even better next week.
Yeah,
Looking forward to it.
Oh man, yeah, some time off to. I thought this entire week would be a little bit lighter. I mean, and this conversation no exception, because I think there's a lot of good things to talk about what's happened in the state of Tennessee over the last year. But we've got some heavy issues that we will be discussing in the 4 o'clock hour and beyond. But in a moment, Justin and I are going to kind of reflect on 2025 in the state of Tennessee from a Beacon Group perspective, and find out his thoughts on the winners of the year. Things that maybe we didn't get accomplished that we can get accomplished in the coming year. That is all to come right after the news, and the news is happening right now on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
The Dot, I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Some troubling news for Tennessee Veterans Care. News 2 says a state audit finds Tennessee's Veterans Home Board struggling with care, quality, and staffing. The Murfreesboro facility dropping from 4 stars to just 1 on Medicare's rating system and was flagged for abuse. Nursing turnover hit an alarming 337% over 3 years. Auditors say urgent action is needed to protect those who served. Flags in Iowa flying at half staff after 2 National Guard soldiers were killed in Syria. That ambush, Sergeant William Howard and Sergeant Edgar Torres Tovar dying in that ambush during a mission against ISIS. A U.S. interpreter also lost their life and 3 soldiers were hurt. The troops part of Operation Inherent Resolve. The FBI has foiled what it calls a large-scale bombing plot linked to a group that calls itself the Turtle Island Liberation Front. First Assistant U.S. Attorney for the Central District of California, Bill Isaley, says 5 people were preparing attacks on multiple Los Angeles locations for New Year's Eve.
Audrey Carroll, 30 years old, Zachary Aaron Page, 32, Dante Gaffield, 24, and Tina Lay, 41. Each from the Los Angeles area.
Yeah, 5th suspect arrested by the FBI in New Orleans, reportedly linked to a separate planned attack. Authorities say the group is anti-government, pro-Palestinian, and had improvised explosive devices ready to go. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, it is building on your way home. Right now, the heaviest spot I see is once you get off of 440 eastbound to go north on 24 to get to 40, or actually west on 24 to get to 40, you are coming to a complete stop. I'm Ken Weaver.
Got a pretty cool experience to tell you about, friends. If you're looking for a perfect Christmas gift for the adventurer in your life, what about an introductory flight experience from Tennessee Flight Training? I did this last year, more on that in a moment, because it was absolutely fabulous. I loved it, which is why I love telling you about it, because whether your special someone dreams of becoming a professional pilot, or if they're just looking to fulfill a bucket list, Tennessee Flight Training can fulfill their aviation dreams. You can meet and fly with a certified instructor from one of 3 locations, Nashville B&A, of course, Murray County Regional, or Shelbyville Municipal Airport. You step inside the aircraft, you learn to fly on your very first day. I mean, we went up. Justin was my instructor. And we went up and circled around Nashville a couple of times. And he said, why don't you take the controls for a minute? And I was like, I don't think that's a good idea, but I did it. It was so cool. You can do it as well. If you've ever dreamed of this, if you've ever thought that you would enjoy it, I encourage you to do it for yourself or buy it for the loved one in your life that has this passion. Help yourself or a loved one's jumpstart a new career as well. It's an in-demand and high-paying field. We are in need of pilots, friends, and you're never too old or too young to learn to fly. Take advantage of the introductory flight experience and save $100. Go to tnflighttraining.com, tnflighttraining.com, or book today at 615-366-9192. Tennessee Flight Training. The skies are calling. Hey, folks, it's Matt Murphy, and I want to tell you about Advanced Hair. Folks, it's as simple as this. If you're losing your hair, guys, gals, y'all know it, and you're maybe whistling past that graveyard just to a certain degree, and you want to pretend like it doesn't exist, well, if you talk to the folks at Advanced Hair Restoration, their simple one-day treatment can offer life-changing results. I've seen it with my own eyes. It's not magic, but it's close to it. Advanced Hair has it all. Top-rated doctors, modern technology, and best of all, you get your own natural hair to regrow the very next day through Advanced Hair's FUE treatment. Schedule your free consultation now at 629-348-HAIR. If you qualify, you get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, and you can be the next one. Go to advancedhair.com. That's advancedhair.com or 629-348-HAIR for our friends at Advanced Hair. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. The Beacon Center is a wonderful organization, a great think tank right here in Middle Tennessee. And Justin Owen is he's the tip of that spear at the Beacon Center, and he joins us in studio to talk about 2025, the year that was, and what we hope for in 2026. So if I asked you, Justin, the best thing to come out of the political world in Tennessee in 2025, what would it be?
Well, first of all, not your flight instructor, Justin, that you mentioned earlier.
No.
That would have ended very differently.
That would have probably been badly.
Yeah.
Do you like flying small planes?
I love planes,
Or
but I've never.
I'm
hoping my wife was listening because maybe she get this gift for me for Christmas.
Let me tell you something.
Sounds pretty cool.
It is. I've never been in a plane quite that small.
Yeah.
I've been in helicopters. But a plane that small, you have to reset your mind about what things are supposed to happen and what things aren't supposed
The
to
noises.
happen. But Justin, my flight instructor, was so good. He was like, listen, he said, he asks, have you ever been in a plane this size? No. Okay, well, you've been in a plane before. Yes. Okay, this is not like those. This one goes boo, 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 up and down and side to side. He goes, that's perfectly normal. We're not going to die. I'm like, well, that's good to know.
That's
Thank
a
you.
helpful start.
That's a great way.
I would be on edge.
Great way to start it. So, yes, Ms. Owen, if you are listening, great. tnflighttraining.com. Best thing of the year?
I would say school choice. We've been working for over a decade to try to give parents more options when it comes to their kids' education. You know, for many kids, the public school system works, but if it doesn't, parents are taxpayers. They're putting money into the pot that goes into public schools. They should be able to take that money and send their kid to a school that meets their needs.
Mm-hmm.
The one they're zoned for doesn't work. We've tried for many years to get this done. Fortunately, Governor Lee proposed it this year, and the legislature passed it finally. And now parents all across the state have options. We've got kids this first year of this program participating from 86 of our 95 counties, 20,000 kids in the program. We had over 40,000 applicants for those seats. Now we got to go back and expand the program to serve those who want to participate. And to their credit, they limited it in the first year so that they could get it up and running, make sure they didn't have implementation problems. But now the proof is there that there's demand for school choice in our state. We got to make sure there's no waiting list for parents who want that option.
What do you expect? And I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. I know in January we'll kind of do a preview of the legislative session that's to come. But if I carved this out and asked you the question, what do you expect that expansion to look like? Well, what do you expect that expansion to look like?
Our hope is at least double what we're at now. So double it to 40,000. That'll pretty much take care of any waiting list. We'd like to see it more like 50,000 families, so there are 50,000 kids, so that we can, build in some growth into that. But I do expect Governor Lee will propose somewhere around an expansion to 40,000. Speaker Sexton has been very supportive of doing that as well. Other legislative leaders are engaging in the conversation. It's not going to be easy. Anytime you're fighting the teachers' unions and other groups, it took us a long time to get to where we are. But I do think that we've got 20,000 parents sitting there going, we want these options. That's a pretty big political force to deny those options. And so I'm hopeful that we can get this done during session.
Were you surprised, and I have my own thoughts on this, but I'm curious from your perspective, were you surprised at the conservative pushback on this legislation?
Yeah, I mean, there's some conservative circles that are going to fight everything. They're always just going to say no to no matter what it is. Some of the same people that fought against this fought against putting right to work in our Constitution. They fought against very conservative things. You put their position up against Joe Biden, and it's going to look far more similar than their position against President Trump, for example. So those people are out there. But yeah, I mean, there are more mainstream conservatives that fought against this. And sometimes their position is a valid concern that we don't want to let government overregulate private schools and that kind of thing.
The camel's nose under the
tent.
tent.
But this program doesn't do that. It clearly says in the law that they can't. It's all voluntary. So if a school doesn't want to participate, they can't be forced to. And if a parent doesn't want to participate, and as long as it's voluntary and both the parent and the school can walk away, then it is a program that's going to work. It is working now. It's working in other states. And so it's unfortunate that we did get conservative pushback because they sided with the teachers' unions and the left that's always fought this and made it a little bit harder, but we still got it done.
I understand that when you have a system as large as the school system in the state of Tennessee, when you have something as complex as this law being passed, you can find something not to like if that's your goal. At the same time, I just kept gearing back to looking at it at 100,000 feet. Does this give parents more choice? Does it remove the limiters in a family's existence that would prevent them from making better school and educational decisions for their families, meaning primarily monetary limitations? And if it's doing that and giving a family a better opportunity to get a better educational chance for their kid, I'm all for it. I can't be against that, and this does that.
I totally agree. Not only philosophically is it the right thing to do, parents are in the best position to make these decisions. If we really want to fix education in our country, we got to put them in the driver's seat. We've given the other side decades and decades, 100 years to fix public education, and they haven't done so. Let's try something else. And school choice is one of the things that will move the needle the most because you put the people in charge that should be in charge.
And we talk about the amount of expansion. Are we? I mean, well, I guess that's just up in the air, and that remains to be seen in the legislative session. How far they're willing to go.
Yeah, I mean, policy-wise, it makes sense to expand it based on demand, and so they should at least do 40,000, if not 50. Whenever you get into the legislative session, things become more political than policy-oriented. And as a think tank head, that hurts me. But I know that that's the reality of the situation. So it's all going to come down to the vote count and things like that.
And I think I know the answer to this, Justin. You might as well. With the school vouchers, once a student gets, they do not have to reapply.
They have to reapply just to show that they want to participate again. If their kid moves to a different school, but they are priority. They're not going to be denied. As long as they still meet those requirements, sending their kid to that school, that kind of thing, then right now the application window is open for those families who are currently in it to reapply, and then we'll know how many seats are left after that.
And 1063, I see you there screaming at me on the super text line that parents already have a choice. You're all in caps. You can pay for it yourself. If you want to have an argument about it, you're welcome to call me at 405 when Justin's gone, and we can argue about it. That's fine. I do not parents are paying into school systems that are failing their kids, and if we can reroute that taxpayer dollars, my philosophical position on this is if we can reroute those taxpayer dollars into a better educational opportunity for those parents, I'm all for that. And obviously, I understand your position on it, and maybe we'll just not agree on it. You guys were involved in a lawsuit, correct?
Yeah, against that. Well, we're involved in several lawsuits, so.
Talk to folks about part of what you do at the Beacon Center.
So we obviously do, as I mentioned, with the school choice, we work on policy and legislative efforts mostly at the state level. But we also understand that governments violate people's rights all the time. If it's federal government, state government, local governments. And so several years ago, we decided we're going to actually hire attorneys to represent people free of charge when the government violates their rights. And one of the things we saw happen recently was Nashville is very bad. They're very good at taking your money, but they're very bad at spending it on priorities, things like filling potholes, infrastructure, those kinds of things. They blow it on stupid stuff, and then they go, well, we don't have enough money. And so one of the things they did was said, we need to upgrade our stormwater and sewer system. And in order to do that, we're going to say, if you want to build a new house or add a mother-in-law suite, essentially anything that requires a building permit, we're going to force you to pay into this fund so that we can pay for these stormwater upgrades that we can't otherwise afford. Well, we sued the city and said, look, this is extortion. We had this litigation battle with them over sidewalks previously. We won that case. Went all the way up, a case went to the Supreme Court, cited our case. So the U.S. Supreme Court said nationwide, local governments can't essentially extort people out into giving money up for building permits to pay for public infrastructure like Nashville was doing with stormwater. And fortunately, the city caved almost immediately. They agreed to settle. We had 361 people across the city who had paid this illegal stormwater fee, essentially. And they agreed to give all $1.4 million they collected back to those 361 taxpayers. Every dime they paid, they get back. And so that's a kind of the work we do as well. Yeah, we change policy at the state level, but we're watching out for these local governments because oftentimes they're the ones violating people's rights. And people don't have anywhere to turn.
Right. You got a couple of folks that feel like they've been wronged by the city of Nashville. What are they going to do? The city of Nashville has, in their world, unlimited amounts of money.
Yeah, and they're using taxpayer money to fight these battles
them
in court even. Yeah.
And they don't feel like that they have the ability, the money, the wherewithal to fight it, and that's where you guys step in.
Yeah, thanks to our generous donors, we can do it free of charge. And so it really opens the door, particularly for lower income families, those on fixed income whose rights are violated. Wealthy people, they might fight back. Sometimes it's not even worth it for them because, like you said, the government has unlimited funds in order to fight these battles. But we've got very talented attorneys on staff. We got two now in the process of hiring a third. Actually are interviewing some candidates this week because there's so much demand for this. We have to turn down all kinds of cases right now because people's rights are violated all over the place. And so this is somewhere where we've really been able to make an impact at the local level in ways that we never had before.
Are you excited about Nashville, what's to come?
I'm optimistic by nature. I do think we've got real opportunity to manage our growth well and really take advantage of being an attractive place to live. I do worry, and not even Nashville, I just worry that a lot of local governments across our state aren't following the same principles that we follow at the state level, right? The state level, we're one of the lowest tax states in the nation, have one of the lowest debts. We've really done a good job of creating an environment where people can thrive as citizens, yet oftentimes local governments really trample on that or go against that, Nashville in particular. But other big cities, even some small cities, are trending in that direction. And we actually did a City Freedom Index this year where we ranked the 30 largest cities in the state across a variety of areas, mainly because we heard from people that I'm having problems with my local government. Yeah, things are going great as a state. I'm happy about that. But I'm still not happy as a citizen because of things that are happening in my own backyard.
Living in Tennessee for now 4 years, and we celebrated our 4th anniversary on air last Friday. And I understand why people are cautious and suspicious of what's around the corner. I wish we were a little more, we could enjoy a little more the conservative state that we live in. I understand why people are cautious. I understand why people are a little bit suspicious about what is next to come, especially in the larger municipalities, in the larger areas. But, you know, I guess maybe having only been here 4 years, I'm still like, guys, this is great. Y'all realize we're like one of the top 5 conservative states in the United States of America. And I understand that doesn't mean we're perfect, but I do think we're pretty good. We need to work. And that's why I like to highlight organizations like the Beacon Center, because we do need to work to protect that and to make sure that we don't veer off the reservation. And there's some that want to pull us into more big government.
Sure.
Right?
And there always will be. I mean, I would love to work myself out of a job, but it's probably not going to happen.
Right.
Because government, by its nature, expands. Government officials love to trample on people's rights. And if they're not pushed back against for doing so, whether it's in the legislature, in the courts, or wherever, then they're going to get away with it.
When you said you ranked the municipalities across the state, who came in first?
So Laverne, just down the street, actually has the overall best. So we ranked them in 4 categories. We did free enterprise, private property, you know, how does the government allow you to use your property or infringe upon that, individual liberty, and then cost of government, things like the debt that local governments have and stuff like that. Because we can see this stuff pretty easily state by state, right? When we have these states competing against each other for citizens, for business, it's kind of easy to tell who are the best states when it comes to these things. People don't have access to that information at the local level, and it takes us about a year to compile it. And so you can go to our website at beacontn.org/CFI, so for City Freedom Index, and you can see how your city ranks, not only overall, but in each of those big 4 categories as well.
I'm going over here to see if I don't think Mount Pleasant made the list. I think it might be a little too small.
Yeah, I think the smallest town was Shelbyville, like 25,000 people. Part of the problem, I mean, we'd love to take it all the way down to Mount Pleasant, but it's hard to get the same level of data for the
right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, have you looked? I mean, story might be breaking late enough that you guys haven't looked into it. Have you looked at this story involving the water, the Columbia Water and Power and Water?
I literally just heard it on the radio and the news coming in. I
just found out about it last week, and it's a pretty wild story. Where
was it? Columbia 150% increase? Is that what?
Yeah, and it feels to me, as I've done a little bit of research on it last week and this week, that the Columbia Power and Water, their interest is to grow their business. And so they're doing everything that they can do to grow their business and to continue the monopoly that they enjoy in the places that they enjoy it. Well, you know, monopolies are oftentimes the enemy of the free market. More times than not, they're the enemy of the free market. And as a result, Columbia Power and Water is attempting to convince the city of Columbia to go to the state and borrow $520 million, $500 million, to create an intake and to create a water treatment facility for what they say is for the good of Middle Tennessee, in that we need to take care of our next 25 years of water needs. That's all fair and good. But I had Representative Scott Sapicki on last week that said, I've got a solution for all of their needs that involves including Murray County Water and some other municipal water sources that would break into that monopoly, only cost us $60 million.
Yeah. Make it a regional approach.
You know, so they're trying to figure that out. But yet what's freaking people out is that your $100, and I just use that figure because it's an easy one, your $100 monthly water bill, and that's a fairly hefty water bill, fairly, sizable. It's about to go up to $250 within the next 4 or 5 years.
And of all the times, I mean, right now people are, struggling in all kinds of areas due to inflation and increased costs. And it's really, I mean, when we poll people and do our listening tours and that kind of thing across the state, it's the thing we hear the most. What are you doing about this stuff? And the government's just making it worse. What happens a lot of these times is they kick the can down the road for so long and don't do anything. And then they're like, well, the only thing we can do is, increase this by 150%. And that's just going to hurt the very people that they are supposed to be representing.
Real quick, in the minute or so that we have left, we're fast approaching being out of time. What else in 2025 is a highlight for you?
Well, I don't know about a highlight. We really raised a lot of awareness about property taxes, similar in vein to this, where cities and counties just kick the can down the road and then raise property taxes 30, 40, 50%. In the last 5 years, those of us who live in Nashville have faced a 55%, I think, property tax increase on the whole. And so we've raised a lot of awareness and gotten a lot of people engaged in this fight. And we'll look at, I'll kind of foreshadow what we're going to talk about in January in a preview of the legislative session. Our biggest priority is going to be limiting local property taxes. We're one of only 4 states that have no kind of limit on local property taxes. And again, if we don't do something about that, we're no longer going to be seen as that conservative, limited government state that lets people keep their hard-earned money. And so we've got to do something about that, and we're going to have a proposal to fix that problem come January.
I love it. I'm loath to take it out of the local municipalities' hands, but if they abuse the system long enough, if they abuse the people long enough without a say for the people, then you got to do something. And the municipalities exist at the pleasure of the state.
They do, and even our solution would be you can raise them up to, say, inflation or 2%. Let's set a percentage for things like growth and cost and things like that. But anything over that, it triggers a referendum, and you just got to convince the voters.
Right.
We vote on sales tax hikes at the local level. We vote on wheel taxes at the local level. Let's let voters vote on property taxes, too.
I love the preview of the conversation to come in January, because I think a lot of people will be thinking about it as they prepare to pay their property tax bills in Davidson County. Justin, you know how good it is to see you, how good it is to have you in, and I look forward to the relationship in 2026.
Thanks for all you do.
Beacon Center's Justin Owen. We'll be back in just a moment, 56 after the hour. You're listening to The Murphy Show on Super Talk. Well, how'd the heater do this weekend? Okay. I mean, how's it doing today, right? I mean, it's cold, and if the heater's going to go out, it's going to go out in this time of weather or type of weather. It just is, because it's working so much harder to keep your home habitable, to keep your home warm. Well, if something goes wrong, you need to call someone jiffy quick. You need to call Jeff Eddy and Efficient Heating and Cooling. They come out quickly. They do not charge you overtime, nights or weekends. They do not believe in overtime rates. They want to keep your invoices down. You'll never pay more than $125 for a maintenance call, but that's not what is important now. What's important now is that they can get to your home, they can fix what ails your system, get it back up and running, and get your heat going again. If it's time, it's time. They're an Elite Pro partner with Rheem, and if the time has come to replace that unit, they can help you out in that regard too. Go to efficienthvac.net, efficienthvac.net, or call 615-784-4424, 784-4424 for Efficient.
4 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Some troubling news for Tennessee Veterans Care. News 2 says the state comptroller's audit reveals what it says are serious issues at state-run veterans' homes. Murfreesboro's rating plunged to 1 star. More than 160 veterans were left off the wait list for months, according to this audit. Nursing turnover soared past 300% despite bonuses and higher pay. Officials are calling for stronger management, better financial controls. An ISIS attack in Syria claimed the lives of 2 Iowa National Guard soldiers and a U.S. interpreter. Sergeant Nate Howard, Sergeant Edgar Torres Tovar were on that security mission when they were ambushed. 3 other soldiers were wounded in the gunfire. President Trump has promised retaliation. And this is what he said in the Oval Office today.
We're formally classifying fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction, which is what it is. No bomb does what this is doing.
President also revealed he's considering reclassifying marijuana.
We are considering that, yeah.
Are you planning?
Because a lot of people want to see it, the reclassification, because it leads to tremendous amounts of research that can't be done unless you reclassify. So we are looking at that very strongly.
Authorities have arrested 5 suspects accused of planning coordinated bombings in Los Angeles on New Year's Eve. The FBI says the group, calling itself the Turtle Island Liberation Front, had improvised explosives ready to target government and law enforcement. Officials described the suspects as motivated by anti-government, pro-Palestinian beliefs.
One of the leaders of the organization, defendant Audrey Carroll, helped organize an even more radical faction of the group called the Order of the Black Lotus. Each of the defendants charged today was also a member of the Order of the Black Lotus.
Yeah, their Instagram reportedly has around 850 followers, Facebook approximately 32. Shock in Hollywood and beyond over the murder of actor and filmmaker Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle. Police in Los Angeles say they were found dead at their home in the upscale Brentwood neighborhood. Police also say that Nick Reiner, their son, is in custody on suspicion of murder. We get more from ABC's Alex Stone outside the Reiner home.
Nick Reiner taken into custody overnight. They had been talking to him, interviewing him through the night, but not calling him a suspect. And then early this morning, making that arrest, $4 million bail. They made the arrest. He is in custody right now in jail.
Now, sources telling ABC News Reiner's daughter discovered her parents. Meanwhile, no arrests have been made in that deadly shooting on the campus of Brown University. 2 students died in the shooting, 9 were hurt. The shots rang out as students are preparing for final exams. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Right now, our maps are not showing any crashes on the interstates. Just the usual slow go brake tapping this time of day. It is particularly slow. Westbound 440 getting up to 40. I'm Ken Weaver.
Happy Monday. Welcome in. It's the Matt Murphy Radio Show underway for another hour on this December 15. Happy to have you with us. It's episode 943 of our gatherings together, and it's day 333 of Donald Trump's second term as President of the United States of America. That's out of 1,460 and 0.5. Always good to remind our liberal friends that there's plenty of this DJT to go. Hey, I'm going to say this, and this is all that I have to say about it. Because it is not that big of a deal. It's not the deal that the mainstream press is making it. With Donald Trump, we get extreme authenticity. And occasionally that level of authenticity and the type of guy that Donald Trump is makes us somewhat uncomfortable. I did not vote for Donald Trump 1, 2, 3, 4. I have now voted for Donald Trump 6 times in my life. 6. Don't look at me funny. Primary and then general election. Primary and general election. Primary and general election. 6 times. And I have never voted for Donald Trump because I wanted him to be my pastor. I've never voted for Donald Trump because I did not expect that he might. I did not vote for him necessarily because of the manner in which he comports himself on a day-to-day basis in terms of the type of language that he uses. I want the guy that's going to be my bulldog in the arena, protecting America, making America great again, protecting our interests here domestically and abroad. The man understands what made America the great country that it was. He understands the mistakes that we've made in the past and how to correct them in the future. And I believe in the manner in which he comports himself. He believes that everything that we do should start with a question, and that is this advancing the interest of the United States of America? Is this making America a better place? Now, that doesn't mean that I agree with him all the time. That doesn't mean that that does not come with a certain level of pain. See tariffs. But it obviously is his central focus. And sometimes Donald Trump says things that, I disagree with. And that's neither here nor there. It's not a deal breaker for me by any stretch of the imagination. And when we found out that Rob Reiner died yesterday, it was pretty apparent that this was a domestic event early on in the discovery phase, and then it was announced early this morning that Rob Reiner's son has been arrested and is being held responsible, allegedly, for the murder of Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle. Donald Trump this morning said a very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to read what I wish Donald Trump, and I'm not omitting any word. I'm just omitting a passage of this. In other words, all you had to say is a very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away together with his wife, Michelle. May Rob and Michelle rest in peace. That's all you had to do. Instead, this is what our president wrote. A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away together with his wife, Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. He was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness, and with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before. May Rob and Michelle rest in peace. See, I think if you just omit that middle paragraph and just go from the beginning to the end, you'd be fine there. Look, I understand that Donald Trump does not suffer fools gladly. I understand that Donald Trump doesn't care for those that do not care or give him a fair shake in his estimation. But at the same time, I stand by what I said on social media, and that is simply this. It's an unfortunate message. A human being and his wife were stabbed to death, allegedly by their own son. Sometimes you just leave things alone, or at least I do. Regardless of what I thought of Rob Reiner in life, he is now dead. And I would not wish anyone to have their throats cut, which is reportedly what happened. And I don't think it's that hard to say that. Our president saw it differently. That doesn't mean that I'm going to toss him out. I'm not. We're grown people. We can handle it. That's the way that he believes. He's not going to back up on it, I can promise you that. And that's really all I have to say about it. It is what it is. Now, some in the mainstream media that want to highlight every issue that they believe that they can turn into a negative against Donald Trump is going to be playing this ad nauseum for the next 24 hours or whatever. And that's all well and good. I understand that it is, look, Donald Trump is by definition a narcissist. Most presidents of the United States of America have been narcissists on some level of the spectrum. And you can say that that's a byproduct of the narcissism. You can say whatever you want, one way or the other. Rob Reiner did not like Donald Trump. Donald Trump did not like Rob Reiner. Rob Reiner is dead now. Donald Trump is still very much alive and is the president of the United States of America. 2660 says, I don't care what Donald Trump said about Rob Reiner. It doesn't affect me no matter what. I don't care if he's president, United States, freedom of speech. I just changed the radio station. That's all. Changed the channels on the TV. Okay. That doesn't make a lot of sense, but all right. I'm not. I like this. 9971 says, it's because you're soft, Matt. Soft and weak. Is he too mean for you? Our political rivals are sending and importing their henchmen to kill us and destroy our country. And what? You want niceties? This is the land of wolves now, and you're not a wolf. All right. We should call this guy. All right. What is there anything that prevents me from giving his telephone number on the radio? I mean, this guy's he's a big talker. He's a big man. I can just let all my listeners call him and express how they feel about his sentiments regarding a wolf, right? I mean, that's what I'd like to do. I mean, I'll give your number out on the radio. I mean, you hit me up. I didn't hit you up, pal. And we can see who's the wolf and who is the POS. How about that? I mean, what is it about having compassion for human beings that makes people soft? You want people to die? You want your political 9971. You want your political rivals to die? You want to kill your political rivals? Is that what you want to do? I mean, that's just gross. That is gross. No, you can be in the arena. You can act tough in the arena. You can be hardened within the arena and recognize that we are also human beings. I didn't like Rob Reiner. But that doesn't mean that we celebrate the fact that he's dead. That is scumbag behavior. That's the type of behavior that we saw on full display after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And I condemned it then, and I condemn it now. That's called consistency in spirit. That's called consistency in ideology. That's called consistency in faith and spirituality. I mean, if you're willing to be consistent and say that you had no problem, you have no problem with them attacking us, so I'm going to attack them, that's just nonsense. That's a weakness in and of itself. But one way or the other, you're entitled to your own opinion. And if you think I'm soft, if I'm your enemy, I promise you, we got big problems. If I'm your enemy, we got big problems. And no, Donald Trump is not too mean for me. I don't really care. Like I said, I wouldn't have said it, but it's not that big of a deal to me. 18 minutes after the hour, 615-737-9986. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for USS, United Structural Systems. When USS comes to your home, you get problem solvers, people who provide peace of mind to their customers, not additional issues or problems. You're getting someone who understands your home, understands foundation repair, understands waterproofing and concrete leveling in a way that I never will, friends, and they can help. If your doors are sticking, windows sticking, and you don't understand why. Perhaps you've noticed that stairs or steps have sunk where they probably shouldn't sink, then you need to get that handled. Or if it's concrete leveling on your docket, you need to take care of that. If you smell a musty or moldy smell in your basement or your crawl space, it's time to get it handled, folks, with USS, United Structural Systems, 615-488-7855. 488-7855 or online at USSTN.com. USSTN.com. They guarantee their best, and they have since 1994. Friends, it's USS.
Quality concerns are mounting at Tennessee's veterans' homes after a new audit. We'll go over the details at 4:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN, an attack in Australia. Obviously, it is a faith-based attack. There are Muslim individuals, a father and son, attacking and killing Jewish people on a beach there in Australia. We'll break that down for you. The odd situation in Rhode Island at Brown University. Look, we live in a society where we have a full expectation, and I don't know that we necessarily should, but we certainly do have an expectation that just about every aspect of our lives are going to be videotaped, surveilled when you are out and about in a public arena, especially on a college campus. But apparently there was not a lot of video going on the campus of Brown. Last night I listened to and watched a press conference in which a local official there said, I don't know what to tell. I mean, because he kept getting asked questions about why no surveillance, why no surveillance, why no surveillance. He's like, look, I don't know what to tell you except to tell you that there's not any. And if we had some, we would give it to you. I guess that's fair, in as much as I think we're probably surveilled a little too much in our society. But when the other side of it hits and you want to try to find somebody that committed such an evil act of terror, surveillance videos would obviously come in handy. They thought they had their guy. They did not have their guy. More coming up on that in just a couple of minutes. Chris is next up. Hey, Chris, how are you?
Doing good. Thanks for taking my call.
Of course.
Hey, I think you're hitting it right down the center of the fairway with as far as Trump and Rob Reiner. They were both huge personalities. They both hated each other equally, visceral heat. But you get with Trump what you're going to get with Trump. I read the comment. I wasn't shocked. That's what you're going to get with Trump. I didn't vote for Mr. Rogers. I knew I was going to get that, but he's doing the job I voted for him to do.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting the job done. I didn't vote for I didn't vote for somebody that's worried about the press conference. I didn't vote for somebody that's worried about language. I didn't vote for a Pollyanna, and I understand that, and I understand what you get with Donald Trump. At the same time, that doesn't mean that I have to agree with it. And sadly, there are some that would suggest that any mild disagreement with Donald Trump about the way that, he responds to some of these things is somehow a disagreement with his overall policy. That's not true. I've never met really anyone in life that I have agreed with 100% of the time. So there's going to and I tell people all the time, Chris, you shouldn't agree with me 100% of the time. I got a little brain damage, man. So, I wouldn't expect that people would agree with me 100% of the time. But all of that to say, look, this guy's going to be our pit bull when we need him to be a pit bull. Sometimes he's a pit bull in ways that, makes me think, yeah, we could have done without that. But that's okay, too. It's okay, too.
Yeah. Sometimes you wonder who gave him the microphone today. It's like, oh, please, don't take the microphone today. But I've heard Rob Reiner make comments about Trump supporters. He didn't like me very much. He said right out how he felt about Trump supporters. So, yeah, I wasn't a fan of his. Loved his movies. Laughed when I was a kid at his acting. But, do I wish the guy dead? No. But there's no reason to,
They're very, and I don't wish anyone dead for things that they say.
No.
Right? And maybe we could, and Chris, no, this is well said, and thank you for the call. And I imagine that sounds like a challenge for some of you, and I guess that I could come up with a wild scenario where someone is speaking in a way that motivates individuals to do harm to other people, that I could then say, okay, well, maybe I would wish that person death. But outside of that insanely unique and rare hypothetical circumstance, I don't wish people death for things that they believe or they say. That's called freedom. And as wrong as Rob Reiner was, as much of a meathead, no pun intended, as I thought he was in life, can you not separate that from the idea that someone, his son, allegedly slit his throat? I don't care. Well, if you don't care, that's on you. That's a little weird. And I'm not expecting that Trump has necessarily that much compassion for him, but it's unseemly to me. And that's fine. We'll get beyond it. I've talked as much about it as I want to talk about it, frankly, because it is neither here nor there. There are, as much as I understand some people want to focus on it because it is a celebrity death, there are much more important things to talk about, and we're going to talk about them, like Rhode Island, like Australia. Mike, real quick, in Old Hickory. Hey, Mike.
How you doing, Matt?
I'm great, Mike. Thank you.
What do you think about President Trump just declaring fentanyl now as a weapon of mass destruction, allowing him now to go blow up these drug boats and go into Venezuela, Colombia, and these other countries that have been floating this poison on us, causing millions of deaths in this country?
I don't have on first blush, I don't have a problem with it there, Mike.
All right. Thank you. I'm glad we're on board on that one.
Yeah.
So, but he did, and there you go. So all these Democrats now that have been claiming and blaming Trump for you can't blow these boats up because they're just offshore fishermen lost in the water. And we're now finding out they've been killing us by the hundreds of thousands, millions with fentanyl, and now fentanyl being declared as a weapon of mass destruction against this country. That's war stuff.
Yeah, I would need to look up what that means in terms. I don't, off the top of my head, Mike, know what that means in terms of designation. If that changes the dynamics by which the president can operate, I would assume that it does. I also don't know that I would consider fentanyl a weapon of mass destruction, because if I'm in a room with 100 people and 20 of them take fentanyl, the other 80 aren't going to die. So only the people that consume them are going to be the ones that pass away. And so there's a level of personal responsibility that goes along with this that we don't talk about very much. I understand trying to keep it out of the country. I understand the desperation to keep it out of the hands of people that might die from it, because tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands over the life of this drug have died at the hands of fentanyl. So because of fentanyl. But I would have to think about it for a minute as to whether or not I consider it a weapon of mass destruction. I don't think I do.
Well, then you need to tell the parents of all these kids.
But Mike, those kids die. Those kids don't die in mass. Mass destruction means something, and those kids die because they're taking drugs.
We dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Mass destruction, right? Yes,
that's mass destruction. That's 60,000 and 40,000. That's a total of 100,000. There's a general whose name was. He was a 4-star general in the Air Force, and they call it LeMay. His name was General LeMay. He firebombed Tokyo, and it killed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of civilians during that time. That's mass destruction. Would you agree?
Yeah, if hundreds of thousands of people are dying at any moment, then that would be mass destruction.
Yes, firebombings. So what the drug dealers are doing is they're saying, hey, we can run this drug across through boats and whatever and kill hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of innocent Americans.
Do the drug dealers want to kill people?
Are you kidding? They want to make money.
They can't. Well, that's true. I understand, but I wouldn't think that it's their goal to kill people, because they kill their customers.
But they produce more people by getting more people hooked.
I understand that. I'm not defending drug dealers. I'm just throwing it out there for the conversation.
They want to produce more people that depend on it, because they have a finite number. You know, you got what 7 billion left on the earth or whatever. If they can just grab just 5% of that and hook them,
I mean, I would be more, and thank you, Mike, for the call. I'd be more apt to call fentanyl a chemical weapon or biological weapon than I would a weapon of mass destruction. I think when I think of weapon of mass destruction, I think of a bomb. It's 32 after the hour. Bomb's going to go off if I don't get into the news on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Quality concerns are mounting at Tennessee's Veterans Home after a new audit. News 2 says Murfreesboro's Medicare rating fell to the lowest level. Staff turnover reaching 337%. Auditors also claim to have found poor record keeping and delays in adding veterans to the wait list. The report urges aggressive steps to stabilize staffing and improve care. President Trump has officially declared fentanyl a weapon of mass destruction. He signed an executive order today calling the synthetic opioid deadlier than any bomb. The move directs federal agencies to treat fentanyl trafficking as a national security threat. Trump says the goal is to stop cartels and foreign networks fueling America's overdose crisis. Syria ambush on U.S. troops update. We have learned that 2 Iowa National Guard soldiers were killed in that ISIS attack. Sergeant William Nathaniel Howard of Marshalltown and Sergeant Edgar Brian Torres Tovar of Grimes, Iowa, died during the engagement. A U.S. civilian interpreter also killed. 3 other soldiers wounded. The attack happened Friday as part of an ongoing counter-ISIS operation. Federal officials say a terror plot aimed at Los Angeles has been stopped. 5 people linked to the Turtle Island Liberation Front were arrested after allegedly planning New Year's Eve bombings.
Last Friday, December 12th, the defendants took a significant step to carry out their plans. They traveled to the remote campsite, which you're going to see some video of, in the desert, and they began unloading their bomb-making materials to assemble and test the bombs.
Investigators say the group pushed anti-government, anti-capitalist, pro-Palestinian views online. The FBI credits quick action for preventing what could have been a deadly attack. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, it is complete stop and go if you are westbound 440 to 40, and then that continues on westbound to 40 in West Nashville. Then if you are eastbound 24, that's complete stop and go from 440. And then if you are using westbound, or rather eastbound 440 over to 24 west to get up to 40, that is complete stop and go right there at that interchange. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hi, friends, it's Matt Murphy, and after Thanksgiving, I bet a lot of you felt stuffed. Well, now we got Christmas coming up, and my goodness gracious. Are you just going to eat until the new year, or are you going to take my advice and go ahead and call Keith or Stephanie or the rest of the crew at Contours LLC, schedule that appointment that I've been encouraging you to schedule, ask about the Murph, which is a great special running through the end of the year where you get a package of belly buster treatments and a maintenance treatment each month in January, February, in March at 20% off their usual prices. In fact, they're going to allow you to come on in before the holidays, the Christmas holiday, I should say, and try for $99 their Belly Buster special. And I'm telling you, this red light therapy, non-invasive, it works, it's safe, it's painless, it's effective. I've seen it. I've done it. It helps your gut. It gets rid of those love handles that you've been having so much trouble getting rid of. I mean, friends, this works at Contours LLC. Ask them about the program, The Murph. Like I like to say, if you're looking for a little more of a feminine option, you can ask for the Mandis. I mean, that's okay. 615-236-9960. That's 236-9960. Call right now and talk to them about getting in this week or just after the holidays. 615-236-9960 or ContoursLLC.com. Hi, friends. Matt Murphy for T. King and Associates. King and Associates, your home and your automobile are two of the biggest investments that you're going to make in your life. I'm investing in a home, and I talked to King and Associates just last week about protecting my home with coverage that fits my life and fits my budget, and they're getting on it. I'm not a first-time home buyer. I'm a second-time home buyer. And not a growing family, but maybe you are. Maybe you're shopping for better automobile rates. Just make this simple, folks. They don't have any pushy salespeople, just honest, personalized service and advice and policies that make sense at King & Associates. They're local. They're independent. They work for you. They do not work for the big insurance companies. That's nice. I loved talking to Emery when I talked with him last week, and we're moving forward with getting me protected in my entire home, my brand new home, and you can be protected too. King and Associates Insurance, protecting what matters most. Go to tkinginsurance.com. That's tkinginsurance.com, or call them today at 329-8121. 329-8121. It's about time. Yeah, we can. It's about time. Have I done this year? I have a weird time. I have a weird hang up. And it has nothing to do with being against the saying Merry Christmas. I think it's weird to say Merry Christmas before like a week before Christmas because it's not Christmas. Does that make sense? Like, I think it's weird.
Scrooge.
No, I'm not being a Scrooge, I promise. But I do think it's weird.
Scrooge.
Like, do you think it's weird saying Merry Christmas like at the beginning of December?
Nope. Have a Merry Christmas, Matt.
Well, you have a Merry Christmas too, Jackson. I hope you find gainful employment once you I'm just being honest. And there goes Jackson trampling on me as I try to be honest with the listening audience. I just have a weird. Now is the time of year where it starts being less weird. But when it's December 3rd and somebody says Merry Christmas to me, that feels weird.
I'm going to be honest. I had not heard it this year until this past weekend.
Yeah, I heard it a lot this weekend.
Past weekend.
That's fine. Yeah, that's good. It's close enough. I mean, we're a week and a couple of days away now.
I know. I got to get my shopping done.
Yeah, do you now? What are you getting? What are you getting your host?
I've got you something real nice.
Do you? I'm getting saltwater taffy from Gatlinburg. I can already feel it. Saltwater taffy from Gatlinburg.
Oh, I should have thought of that.
Yeah, should have. Let's bring on Brink Fiddlers. Brink is a good friend of the show. Obviously, Brink is the owner and operator of Defense Systems, and he joins us today on the Murphy Show hotline. Wish we could have had him in studio, but obviously he is insanely busy and continues to help us understand, what to do in the unlikely event that you should find yourself in a negative life situation. Brink, what's going on, my friend?
Well, doing some more training out of town around that very topic, Matt, shockingly.
Well, yeah. I mean, this situation in Australia is a particularly dangerous one in the sense that it's so wide open. I mean, just without leading you in any particular direction, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, number one, all the more reason you got to have pretty strong force of people prepared to shoot back.
Amen.
I mean, a lot of people don't love hearing that, but in wide open environments like that where we're trying to enjoy, festivals and things like that, concerts, basketball games, all that stuff. I mean, if it's a crowded environment like that and it's literally going to be like potentially shooting fish in a barrel for the bad guys, then we've got to have a counter assault option there. Or you see the result of how long that took to finally do something about it. So I would say that's certainly first, without getting into the politics of what Australia decided to do.
So, I mean, one of the things that you have taught me, and going through the training that we went through at Nashville, at Cumulus Nashville, going through the training that I've been through with you on several occasions, it is something that you try to drill into the heads of your students, if you will, but it feels counterintuitive. But in an open environment like that, a lot of times, and I know that there's no one-size-fits-all approach, and you also teach us that every circumstance is going to be a little bit different than any other circumstance. However, that the initial reaction is to flee and to run away from the gunfire, but in some circumstances, that's not a good idea. Talk about that.
Sure. Yeah, it depends on a lot of things. Cover and concealment, are they available? Do you actually know what cover is, i.e. what'll stop, in this case, bullets? Depending on the location of the shooter, like in Las Vegas, for example, a lot of people just ran to the back of the fairgrounds, but they didn't do any good doing that because the shooter was in an elevated position, and in reality, they should have run towards Mandalay Bay, and they would have eventually taken his angle away. But, without a little bit of training or maybe some tactical knowledge and background, most people don't think to do that. Furthermore, what I saw tons of video of, and it just drives me crazy every time I see it, is a bunch of people just diving on the ground and laying there and covering each other. Well, I mean, the minute you dive on the floor, whose decision is it whether you live or die? It's the bad guy, the minute you do that. So you're not doing anything to help yourself if you just dive on the floor. But if you don't understand the concepts of cover and concealment, you haven't identified exits, you haven't identified cover and concealment in your area, then a lot of times people are going to be in that fight, flight, or freeze that we always talk about, the primitive brain. And a lot of people just freeze. I mean, you obviously have been through the training more than once, but the video we show from Las Vegas, from the crowd of people that are literally just sitting there, they're just hunkering down in one big blob of people. Of course, if you remember the video, there's that one funny guy drinking a beer and flipping a bird at the shooter. But
right.
The rest of the people around him are just literally just laying there waiting to get shot. And obviously that's not any kind of plan.
The obvious answer in Australia, in my estimation, is that in these situations you have to have good men and good women that have an ability to fight back. And in this case, obviously, if you have gunfire, then that's going to significantly enhance your ability to fight back. However, we did see a hero, and I got to tell you, this guy, the reports that I saw, this man told his nephew, I think, to tell his family members that he loved them, that he was probably going to get killed, but he had to do something about it. And he went out and he literally tackled one of the gunmen who, thank God, did not see him approaching, and probably saved a lot of lives.
100% he did, and that's that, decisive action we talk about, and talking about Amanda Ripley's book, The Unthinkable. What she found in her study of all these events is most people go through three stages, which initially are denial, then deliberation, and then the decisive moment or decisive action. And what we continue to find repeatedly is when people take decisive action, it absolutely affects the attacker's ability to execute what they're trying to do. I mean, in Nashville alone, right, we've had 4 active shooter attacks. You had Burnett Chapel Church of Christ in Antioch, which was interrupted by Good Samaritans. You had the Waffle House shooting, also in Antioch, also interrupted by Good Samaritans. Then you had, obviously, Covenant, which was eventually stopped by the officers who arrived. And then the one in Antioch, which wasn't any kind of decisive action except the shooter took his own life. But my point is, in 3 of the 4 that we've had in Nashville, decisive action into the attack. So, if people are in a position to do something and are willing, then usually it makes a humongous difference.
What, if anything, do you make of the Brown University attack in Rhode Island? And the police, we're quick to judge in media circles, right? I mean, it's, I haven't heard this necessarily from my fellow talk radio hosts. I'm not talking about anybody on our radio station, but just generally speaking nationally. But, it's easy to criticize some of the police officers that are doing hard work that, you found a guy and that wasn't your real guy. Well, that's called police work. I try to be a little bit forgiving in this, in that they thought they had a lead. They thought they had their guy. They went to him. They interrogated him. They found out that they didn't. But it doesn't do us any it doesn't give us any confidence that they don't seem to have a suspect at this stage.
No, certainly it doesn't give us any confidence. Furthermore, that is cagey as they're being with information now. Now, granted, they had to insert foot and mouth by saying that they had somebody in custody, which they never should have. But I think they were too quick to try and get a W, right? And say, "Oh, look, we got him," and you see the result there. But it does remind me a lot of what happened with Covenant, with the whole the writings and the journals and how elusive they were being about that stuff instead of just being honest about the reason they were holding it back. And I think matter of fact, I think it's a really smart radio host that I know that always says where there's a lack of information, there will be what? Speculation. And 100%. And we're seeing it here too. So now that some factor may be starting to trickle out about the shooter, does that change anything? No. I mean, if the same people are still dead, it was still a semi-targeted attack in a higher education institution. Interestingly enough, I won't say which, but a large higher education institution system just hired us to train all over 1,000 of their faculty and staff that we've been doing over the last few weeks. We're at another higher education institution now for the next 4 days doing training for law enforcement around the same medical class that you took, the tactical emergency casualty care. So at least the folks in higher education in Tennessee, anyway, have been all over this for several years, and understanding that the threat is not just in the K-12 environment. Regardless, I think what we've seen at Brown University is, I think too many cooks in the kitchen, if you will. A lot of people in quote unquote leadership role trying to take the lead, and it hadn't really gotten us anywhere. So I think they moved too fast to try and get a win, and you see the result now.
No, I agree with you there. I mean, they desperately wanted that initial individual to be their suspect, and so they jumped the gun. And you know what? Sometimes we're quick to jump on these folks who don't give us the information, and occasionally they're trying to prevent something like this from happening. And I get that. I mean, there's no perfect way to do it, especially in this day and age where information is almost instantaneous. But also, it could be just as wrong as it is right when it comes to us instantaneously,
Sure, and give a false sense of security to the people that, we're thinking, oh, we're good now, or the shelter in place, and how long was that? And will this guy hit again? I mean, who knows? The fact that he was able to walk in, do that, and walk out, and we still don't know who he is a little disturbing. They say there's a lack of cameras in that building because it was older, and that might be true. Who knows?
Well, but I mean, does that surprise you on a college campus of the renown of Brown University that they don't have cameras in that? I mean, obviously things are going to change now, clearly, but did it surprise you when they came out? I mean, last night the guy got kind of frustrated and aggressive and was like, look, I don't know what to tell you. There aren't security camera footage. There's not security camera footage available. I don't know what to tell you. I understand y'all keep asking about it, but there's not any. I'm not withholding anything. Does that surprise you, Brink?
It does, especially, in 2025. I mean, when there's an obligation, to protect your people with basic security technology in place, which the number one is cameras. Now, of course, the number one reason people put cameras in is for security. And believe it or not, the number one reason the footage used is for liability and litigation purposes, whether that's slip and fall, BS claims, or, sexual assault or whatever it is. But regardless, that's like security 101 is making sure that you have good coverage in your common areas, your hallways, your stairwells, things like that. So the fact that it was an older building is not really an excuse. I mean, because you can retrofit older buildings, and that's done all the time. So
yeah.
I am a little bit surprised in this day and age that building didn't have better coverage.
Brink Fiddler's our guest. He is with Defense Systems. You hear me talking about Defense Systems all the time. They're the best in the business when it comes to protecting you, so especially people in groups. Brink, France made the announcement that they were canceling some of their New Year's celebrations for fear that there would be attacks. We saw the FBI make an announcement regarding a planned attack in Los Angeles. Are you concerned, or does it cross your mind that we might come to a place where we start canceling gatherings of this nature in the United States of America? I mean, I shake my head to think that we've gotten to this place in our country, but I fear that we are close.
I think you're exactly right. And of course, the number one thing, terrorists want is fear, right? I mean, that's what terrorism is. It's ruling by fear. And, it's only going to, look at 9/11, right? They crashed 4 airplanes on 9/11, and every aircraft out there was grounded for how many days? And then on top of that, how many events were canceled? What do we have to go through now to even get on a plane? So, I fear, and a lot of the intelligence community has talked about it quite a bit, that there is another attack coming on U.S. soil, and I don't think it's if. I think it's when. If everything that I'm reading is semi-accurate, then it's probably sooner than later. And, that's exactly what the bad guys want, is to paralyze us with fear. And what better way to do that than, hit these big, open, fun-time family events, bring down an airplane or two, whatever that is. So I fear that you're right. I hope not, because we as our freedom-loving Americans love our freedom, but, that also tends to come with a price. Any
final thoughts before we have to go?
No, I would just tell people that don't let fear rule your life, but be prepared. You don't have to be paranoid, but be prepared. Identify a few exits before you go to a venue or any kind of event. If you don't have any kind of pre-hospital or trauma medical training, get some and keep that equipment with you. It's not very much equipment, as you know, Matt. It's not much at all that you have to keep with you, but the ability to treat yourself and others can be a game changer if you can do it very quickly.
Amen. Great stuff. Thank you, Brink, for being our go-to guy when it comes to these types of situations. We appreciate everything that you do with Defense Systems and everything you do for Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Take care, brother.
Thanks, Matt.
All right. There's Brink Fiddler joining us for a few moments. It's 55 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy, and it's as simple as this. For any and all of your holiday needs, it's time to get to Savory Spice. Holly was sending me something over the weekend, and I was looking at this, and it is pretty darn good. I'm talking about incredible selection of items from Savory Spice. We're talking about sparkle syrup. I mean, they still have some, right? They've got the sparkle syrup available for you at Savory Spice. Plus, she sent me video after video of incredible gift-giving ideas at Savory Spice. I'm talking about pre-done stuff like pastas and whatnot, where you can make cooking easy leading up to the holiday season. Or if you're already planning on what your holiday dishes might be and you need that specialty spice, or you need to restock, the place to do it is Savory Spice. Gift-giving ideas galore at Savory Spice, and the one and only is located just off the square in Franklin. Go in, smell the smells, smell the aroma, see the friendly folks of Savory Spice. Holly and David are oftentimes right there in the store, ready to greet you with a friendly staff, and they can help find the item that you're looking for this holiday season. Baking or just cooking generally, or gift-giving ideas, you can find them at Savory Spice. And still, sparkle syrup available at Savory Spice. They're in Franklin. Tell them I sent you to Savory Spice.
5 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. A performance audit paints a troubling picture for Tennessee's veterans' homes. News 2 says the Murfreesboro home now holds a 1-star rating and was cited for abuse. The state comptroller's office says nursing turnover has skyrocketed. Auditors say financial oversight is lacking. Recommendations include fixing waitlist delays. Lawmakers will review these findings in the upcoming session. Fentanyl, now classified as a weapon of mass destruction under a new executive order signed by President Trump. The order mobilizes the Justice Department, Homeland Security, and Defense to crack down on trafficking. Trump says the drug kills hundreds of thousands of Americans each year. And the Providence Police and the FBI doubling their efforts to find the suspect responsible for the mass shooting at Brown University Saturday that left 2 students dead and 9 injured.
Since it started, we're at the 49th hour, and there's no one that wants to put this individual in handcuffs than us.
That's Providence Police Chief Oscar Perez. He shared surveillance video and photos to the public this afternoon, along with a plea to help locate this person. The FBI now offering a reward of $50,000. And there's heightened security at Hanukkah celebrations around the U.S., including Nashville, after the attack on the Jewish community in Australia that killed 15 people this weekend. Here in Nashville, Channel 4's Jordan James says hundreds are on high alert for tonight's public lighting of the menorah.
Jewish institutions throughout Nashville have increased security and have been coordinating with local and federal law enforcement agencies, which leaders say is a necessity.
Us, together with the rest of the Nashville Jewish community, are definitely vigilant, and our security is our top priority, and we do everything we can. At the end of the day, there's a big God in heaven, and we pray that everybody stays safe.
A shared hope for a congregation amidst hardships.
No matter how many times people try to attack us, we are a resilient group of people, and we're not afraid to come together and celebrate our faith no matter anything that goes on.
So the public menorah lighting is scheduled at 5:30 tonight at Public Square Park downtown. Shock in Hollywood and beyond over the murder of actor and filmmaker Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle. Police say that Nick Reiner, their son, is in custody on suspicion of murder. We get more from ABC's Alex Stone.
We know from people in the neighborhood, they say that, obviously Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle, that they were the light of this neighborhood, of this very high-end Brentwood neighborhood. But apparently Nick Reiner had been dealing with for many years. They even made a movie together, Nick and his father, about his addiction and his mental health battles over the years. Those who know them say that he had been really struggling with that recently.
Reiner's daughter discovered her parents. The FBI credits quick action for preventing. Well, actually, that's from another story. Sorry about that. The last line in this story is Reiner's daughter discovered her parents. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, we've got a crash reported 40 westbound before Charlotte Pike. Also, Gallatin Pike North and Old Hickory Boulevard in Madison. Complete stop-and-go traffic westbound 440 to 40. And then northbound 65 up to the South Loop. And then eastbound 24 from 440. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Matt Murphy, and this is the Matt Murphy Radio Show. Thank you for being around. Thank you for being out there. Thank you for everything that you do to contribute to the family that is the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. And Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all of you. I think it's time. It's December 15th. It's time to say Merry Christmas.
10 days out.
I'm just, all I'm saying is, and a lot of people on the Super Text line agree with me, by the way, all I'm saying is, when it's like December 2nd and somebody says Merry Christmas, I just feel weird because it's like 20 days before Christmas at that point. It's 3 weeks before Christmas at that point.
We're a week and a half out.
I know, it's time.
I heard it all weekend.
You get no argument from me now. I'm all in. You did hear it all weekend, didn't you?
I was walking away from the moonshine tasting. They were telling me to have a Merry Christmas. I got to tell y'all something. I tried a oatmeal cookie moonshine.
Did you now?
Delicious.
Was it?
Dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Nice and sweet.
Oh.
Oatmeal-y.
It tasted like the Little Debbie's.
Oh, I bet it tasted like a little slice of heaven.
Oh, so good.
Yes, sir.
I love that apple pie moonshine, man.
Well, here's what they did the smart thing with this one. With one of these we went to. They put it right next to all the girly shops.
Okay.
So me and my brother-in-law walked over there and had a moonshine tasting while the
ladies are
shopping.
The ladies are shopping.
Isn't that smart, Brother Weaver? We didn't want to look at look at clothes or.
When's the Ken? When's the last time you were in Gatlinburg?
Goodness. I want to say at least 4 or 5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, it's been a long time. And we used to go over there every Thanksgiving, but the lady that we would rent a cabin from, she didn't allow pets.
Oh.
And we got little Fritz.
You got little Fritz?
So
you got to have.
We haven't been back.
Come on.
Matt will never do that. He couldn't go a holiday without Mrs. Beasley.
Oh, we got to have little Fritz.
Or Mrs. Weasley.
No, you mistakenly got it right, Jackson. I know, and it frustrates the hell out of you that you did, but you got it right the first time.
And we got Munford, too.
Yes, we have Munson and Mrs. Beasley. That is correct.
Munson.
Yeah, and maybe, more mouths to feed before you know it. I mean, new house, new dogs, right?
Woo!
Isn't that what they say?
Get you one of them Great Pyrenees.
I don't think we'll be getting. I almost took a shot at one of those greater Swiss mountain dogs. You know who you are.
Aren't they big?
Yes.
Huge?
Yeah, sure.
Like giant?
I was told I wasn't allowed to get a big dog. That's not going to stop me. Define big.
They leave big piles.
Yeah, they do. That's big fertilizer, Ken.
Big old.
Lots of fertilizer for the grass. Well, it's a circle. You know what I call that? The circle of life. That is. You see a big pile of dog squeeze, that's the circle of life there.
But when it gets on your shoe, though.
Don't want to step in it, though.
Ooh.
Is there anything worse? While we're on this, is there any? Have either of y'all? I can't believe I'm going to ask this question.
All right.
Have either of y'all ever been barefooted when it happened?
Yes.
There's
It's happened to me all the freaking time.
Nothing.
Not barefoot.
Nothing can make you feel more.
But I
like
lost
a
good pair of socks one day.
Ooh, that's tough.
That's worse.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
I can wash my foot.
Yeah, I washed my foot real fast.
But those socks are done for. Those are garbage.
I mean, it came up in between my
your
toes.
I know. Oh, and you know what it is. That's not pudding.
Boy, you run right for that water hose when that happens.
Yuck. Nasty.
You ever been tackled in it? I've been tackled in it.
That's pretty bad, too.
I can't
Playing
tell this
backyard
story.
football?
Yeah, well, I'm not a tall fella. So back
don't say.
whenever I was in school, we played a game, called Tackle the Man with the Football at school.
Yes.
That's what it was called, Ken?
Yes, sir. They gave me the football all the time
I wonder why.
just to cremate me.
But that's what the game was called, Ken.
And then a couple of times, it was right in like I didn't notice until I got home, and my mom said, "Son, you stink." And sure enough, it was all up and down my jeans and my T-shirt.
Oh, no. Yeah, there's no good way to go through life with dog poop on your clothes.
But I liked it because that means the dudes that were cremating me got it too.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
But that's what the game was called, Ken?
Jackson, you understand that an NFL running back has gotten into a bit of trouble.
Oh, I know exactly.
Certain phraseology.
And that's what we called the game when I was a kid, too.
Yeah, what? Did you now?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
I didn't know what it meant.
But that's what you called it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, look, good for y'all. I tell you what, when you leave us for the damn sports station next week, you can take that trash over there to the sports station and talk like that. But right here, we're not talking like that. How about that? So, yes, that's the name. Now, see what you've done.
Everyone knows what that game is called.
Well, that's fine, but, we're also not 12 anymore. I don't have any problem with it. Apparently, they don't have any problem with it.
No.
They use it in their designation, in their acronym, right?
Yes.
The LGBTQ.
Yes, sir.
++, two-spirit, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even – what is it? I don't even know what a two-spirit is. We've had this discussion on the show before. I don't even know what a two-spirit is. Is that like some sort of Native American I'm a wolf?
You're our show's
kind of thing?
Native American, so.
Yes, I'm the resident expert.
I got Cherokee in me.
Uh-huh. Everybody in the South is 1/16.
Yes, sir.
Or 1/8 or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know. One way or the other, Ken, nothing can make you feel worse than going home with poop on your clothes. You're right. You're right. That's tough.
It wasn't that bad on my clothes, but definitely between my toes. I did not like it.
You can't take it back. It's just, you can't, can I just take the last 10 seconds of my life back so I don't have poop in the middle of right up in between my toes?
Man, I ran right over to that water hose, boy. Cleaned them right up.
Yep. And yes, 6363, I do know the meaning of the word queer. I understand that queer means odd or strange. I also understand that in common parlance, it has come to mean someone who is homosexual. It was used as a pejorative initially, and now they have taken it up as something that they celebrate. They celebrate being queer. Now, people in the homosexual community use that language to promote themselves. So I am fully aware of the etymology of the term, but thank you.
Brother Jackson was baiting me. He was baiting me.
He's a masturbator.
Brother Jackson.
He is. He's a masturbator. Jackson. Aren't you, Jackson? Aren't you, Jackson?
I'm not going to dignify that snappy retort with a comeback.
So you drank moonshine while you were in Gatlinburg.
I did.
And you had, what'd you say, oatmeal cream pie?
Oatmeal cookie moonshine.
Anything else? Didn't you say at one point, Ken? Did you get the text where Jackson said, "I'm having a blackberry moonshine margarita, fellas. When
Yes.
in Rome."
Yeah. That is when you asked me to call into the show.
I'm like, well, boy, oh boy, he must be drunk because he thinks he's in Rome. He's in Gatlinburg.
Boy, that sounds tasty, though.
It was delicious.
I bet it was.
Although I don't like the glasses it comes in.
Tell me about what you had a bit of a sad moment, though, because you're a relatively young man to be losing the places that you used to go to when you were a child. But
we can talk about this.
Yeah, let's talk about it. The Pancake House shut down?
So we always went to this one particular breakfast spot, the Atrium in Gatlinburg, and we found out it closed last year when we were going to breakfast yesterday morning.
Well, I'll be.
Hate it.
What did they say? Did you find out why? What happened?
Probably because it was the only place in Gatlinburg you could go on a Sunday at 9 a.m. and not have a wait.
Well, that's probably not very. That's probably because the food is horrible.
No, the food's great.
Well, but it used to be.
The food was always great. I mean, I went probably last time, like probably 3-4 years ago.
Well, but if you don't have a wait on a Sunday, you know what I'm.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying.
I never had to wait there.
Well, I'm sorry for that.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like I haven't been to Gatlinburg since I was 12.
That time it was just called Berg.
I'm not that old. I don't know why you keep saying I'm so old. I'm not. I'm younger than Weaver.
Yes.
Ken, you know those little places you can sift for gold? They didn't have those. It was just prospectors out in the mines.
Man, I used to love those places when I was a kid.
They called the old-time photos just photos.
You just sit around the whatever the hell you were staying in this weekend and come up with old man jokes. Is that what you did?
No, I'm thinking all these on the fly.
Oh, yeah. Well, good for you. Good for you. You're going to have plenty of time to think in the new year. Over there, bored as hell on the sports station where you apparently love to be.
I'm going for one day. I'm going for one day.
On Christmas Eve.
I'm going for one day.
Abandoning your family on Christmas Eve. You're like an old man going out for smokes on Christmas Eve. I'm just going out for smokes.
Matt,
and never show back up again.
It's just a carton of milk and a pack of cigarettes. I'll be back before you know it.
All right. Matt, there's much worse things than stepping on dog poop. Imagine oh, well, that's true. I've never had the I've never had the displeasure of stepping in human poop, so I'd imagine that would make it exponentially worse. Yes.
Ooh, got one more. Back when Matt first went to Gatlinburg, Ripley's Believe It or Not was just the printing press.
You go into the old Ripley's museum?
No, we don't do that anymore. We thought about it.
Do they have in Gatlinburg, do they have I know they did in St. Augustine, they had the big faucet that there was just the water coming down into the bucket, and you're like, oh, how does that work? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I haven't been in years.
You know what I'm talking about, Ken? So it's a faucet, and it's just hanging in the air. And that's one part of it. You're like, my God, the faucet's just hanging in the air. And the water's coming down and into the bucket, and the bucket never fills up. And you're like, my goodness gracious. And when you're 7 years old,
right,
you can't figure that out,
right,
man. You're like, that is magic of the highest order. And then you go back and you're 13 and you're like, oh, there's just a tube in the middle of the water and it sucks it back up into the tube and then comes back out. Oh, I see how it's done. That's not very magical at all. But boy, when you're 7 or 8, you think it's everything. It's the greatest thing ever. And plus they had the statue of Robert Ludlow. You know who Robert Ludlow is, Jackson?
No, I'm sure he was one of your schoolboy friends.
He was the tallest man ever.
That big old boy.
He was a big old fella, 8'9" or
he played basketball?
8'10". No,
why not?
He only lived to about 20. He had gigantism. He would not. His body. He had a thyroid issue. I think I have his name right, Robert Ludlow. Y'all correct me if I don't. Tallest man ever to exist on planet Earth, as far as we know. And Ken, tell me if I'm right. I think he was 8 feet 9 or 10 inches tall. 8'10" is what I'm going to say.
Well.
Let's
come on
find
now.
out.
Come on, computer.
Let's go.
Woo, come on, computer. All right. The tallest man ever reliably documented was Robert Wadlow.
Wadlow, not Ludlow. Wadlow, my bad.
Known as the Alton Giant.
How tall?
8 feet, 11.1 inches. Might as well have been 9 foot.
9 foot tall. Man, oh, man. And he died, I want to say, at the age of 23.
Right, and you are correct, sir.
And he never stopped growing.
Yeah, he had pituitary gland hypertrophy, leading to excessive growth hormone production. That's terrible. He probably wasn't very comfortable.
What years did he live?
1918 to 1940.
Oh, yeah. Back then, they find out you have that, they just hand you a hammer and say it's going to be a long one. Matt knows about it.
I don't even know what that means. I have no idea what you just said. I don't know what you just said means. Did they just hand you a hammer and tell you it's going to be a long one?
Yeah, that's your painkiller. You hit yourself in the head with it.
Okay, fine.
Because you're not thinking about your thyroid pain if you hit yourself in the head with a hammer.
Robert Wadlow never stopped growing and never would have. And that's why he died. He actually died. Ken, I'm doing all of this from memory. I was obsessed with the Guinness Book of World Records when I was a kid, and I would read it to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I want to say that he died from an infection on his feet.
Probably.
Because he couldn't get it. The blood circulation or something or another wouldn't work.
Well, and just think about how hard his heart was working.
Oh, and no doubt, no question. I mean, yeah, and he never would have stopped growing. I mean, it's just insane to contemplate. But 8 feet 11 and a half inches tall. That's
and
pretty
he had
tall.
to travel around on all those Ripleys, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm. Been to every single one of them, including the one in Gatlinburg, which is where we started this story.
Okay, I have to tell you something. Do you know where Al Cowling's Bronco from the chase is?
What?
That's right.
Do you know where Al?
No, I do not.
It is in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Yes,
What?
sir.
Yes.
What?
At a museum called Alcatraz East. I've been there.
Why?
I'm assuming somebody paid money to put it there.
I imagine so.
But yes, the Bronco is there.
What?
That is where I went there a few years ago, and yes, that is where the Bronco is.
Huh.
What do you know about that?
And those Broncos weren't that great. They weren't that nice.
The most famous Bronco.
I would say the most famous Bronco, of the
But
last.
yeah, it's
of
in
the last forever.
It is in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Huh.
I like the jacked up Broncos. Those were cool.
No, the Broncos from back in the day, back in the late 70s, early 80s. Those were pretty good.
Yeah.
Those 90s era Broncos, though, nothing to write home about. But that's the one. Yeah, OJ was. That's the slow speed chase.
Right.
Down the LA freeway where OJ had the gun and he was like threatening to do bad things to himself, and Cowlings was, he's going to do it. That one. Yeah, that one. All of that crap that they wouldn't allow in court.
Yeah.
They didn't allow that in court?
No.
They would not allow any of that in court.
That was that's to this day, that is one of the weirdest events in American history.
Yeah, no question.
Just
the whole bit. The whole bit. Jackson, one of these days when we don't have so much going on, Ken and I can take you back in time, back in history.
Not too far. I don't want to go back to your childhood.
Into the olden times and explain to you how a guy, they found bloody clothes on his property.
Yes.
And they couldn't convict him of the murders.
Yep.
They found his footprints on the scene of the murder. And they couldn't convict him of the murder.
Are they just the worst prosecutors of all time? Because that's always been my opinion.
Boy,
that has always been my opinion.
That might have been it. That was some of it.
That was a lot of it, in my opinion.
Two of the worst prosecutors.
Over-tried the case in some ways, didn't try the case in other ways. It was just a mess, an absolute mess. And I'm now being told that the most famous white Bronco in history is John Elway. It's 24 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Back after this. Alpha and Omega Computer Consultation. Michael and his team want to get you ready for 2026 and beyond. If you don't have an IT service in your business, if you've been thinking about getting one, you need to call Michael and his team and allow them to sit down with you and talk to them about the expertise that they provide you in the computer world. Friends, you shouldn't allow yourself to consume your time and your energy by dealing with computer issues on a regular basis. Allow Alpha and Omega to do this for you. If you're a business owner, your time is valuable. It's important. And when you have IT issues, you don't need to talk to some call center on the other end of the world or some robot AI chat. You don't do that at Alpha and Omega. You talk to a real human being right here in Middle Tennessee, and they solve your issues jiffy quick, and you rarely, ever have one. Go to ANO.net. That's A&O.net or 615-784-0096, 784-0096 for our friends at Alpha and Omega. Tell Michael and his team that Matt Murphy sent you to Alpha and Omega. Hey, folks, there was only one number that I was going to call when it came to financing my home, and it was Accurate Mortgage. Accurate Mortgage is simply superior to every other company in town. And now is a good time to think about Accurate Mortgage. With interest rates going down a tick or two, you need a trusted local advisor like Accurate Mortgage to guide you through the market, through your home purchase or your refinance. Unlike the big online lenders, to Accurate Mortgage, you're not just a number, you're a human being, you're a voice, you're a name, and they treat you as such. They will only advise a loan that makes sense for you and your family financially. Now listen, even though rates might be slightly higher than even your current mortgage, if you're thinking about refining and rolling over some of those high interest consumer debts into your mortgage, you can do that with Accurate Mortgage. Or if you're thinking about buying like I've done, I mean, we've reached kind of a honey hole where interest rates are going down, prices are going down as well, and that's a great time to buy. If you're looking to purchase a home, do a cash out refi, or renovate your current home, look no further than Accurate Mortgage. Go to AccurateMTG.com, AccurateMTG.com. That's what I did. Accurate Mortgage, NMLS 129944. Rates and terms subject to change. Equal housing lender.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. And right now, some troubling news for Tennessee Veterans Care. News 2 says a state audit claims to have found that Tennessee's veterans' homes are struggling with care quality and staffing. The Murfreesboro facility dropping from 4 stars to just 1 on Medicare's rating system and was flagged for abuse. Nursing turnover hit an alarming 337% over 3 years. Auditors say urgent action is needed to protect those who served, and state lawmakers will be taking up this audit in the next session. Investigators working on the mass shooting on Brown University campus this weekend looking at a new lead, releasing video and photos of a person of interest and requesting the public's help in locating a man seen dressed in black near campus. Officials had a person of interest in custody, then released that person late last night, stating evidence led them to a different direction. The press then wanted to know if this, how this could have happened. Providence Police Chief Oscar Perez blamed it, on misinformation.
I have no control over what's being released or circulated in the media, speculations that occur. we can control is what we give you here. And as I was speaking earlier, that's why it's important for you to get the information from us.
The FBI now offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to the person responsible. Flags in Iowa flying at half staff after 2 National Guard soldiers have been identified as the ones killed in that ambush in Syria. Sergeant William Howard, Sergeant Edgar Torres Tovar dying in that ambush during that mission against ISIS. A U.S. interpreter also lost their life. 3 other soldiers were hurt. The troops part of Operation Inherent Resolve. And the FBI says it has foiled what it calls a large-scale bombing plot linked to a group that calls itself the Turtle Island Liberation Front. First Assistant U.S. Attorney, or rather the U.S. Attorney for the Central District of California, Bill Asaley, says 5 people were preparing attacks on multiple Los Angeles locations for New Year's Eve.
Audrey Carroll, 30 years old, Zachary Aaron Page, 32, Dante Gaffield, 24, and Tina Lay, 41. Each from the Los Angeles area.
Yeah, 5th suspect, they say, was arrested by the FBI in New Orleans, reportedly linked to a separate planned attack. Authorities say this group is anti-government, pro-Palestinian, and had improvised explosive devices ready to go. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Franklin, we've got a crash reported by the Highway Patrol 65 southbound at Paytonsville Road, Goose Creek Bypass. That's exit 61. Over here at Hillwood, got a crash reported by police 40 westbound before Charlotte Pike. It is extremely backed up if you are going westbound on 440 to 40. That continues going 40 westbound. And then eastbound 440 to 24. That is a complete stop and go when you try to hit 24 westbound to get up to 40. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for the Wellness Institute of Nashville. You know, the Wellness Institute of Nashville, Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley, they now provide the big week trophy for the Nincompoops in the News segment we're about to do in the next few minutes. And now they are providing the newest and greatest healing machine in the Nashville community called the Hydro Wave. Here's what it does. It stimulates stem cells for cellular healing, repair, and restoration with no surgery, no needles, no injection, no downtime. This, along with surgical spinal decompression or non-surgical spinal decompression, is the best that you will ever find. Very important. It's the first and only office in the state of Tennessee to have this new device, which is why Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Ashley are my doctors, should be your doctors, and while they're very excited about telling you all about it. It is the brand new Hydro Wave, and you need to ask about the Hydro Wave when you stop by. If you have back pain, neck pain, knee pain, sciatica, bulging discs, or spinal discs, herniated discs, you need to talk with Dr. Ashley, Dr. Mitchell, and the rest of the team. The state-of-the-art non-surgical spinal decompression, knee decompression, it works. I am a testimony to it. And I've not tried the Hydro Wave yet, but I'm going to. The new Hydro Wave. Call 615-246-5009, 246-5009, or online at painisbad.com. Find out more about the Hydro Wave at painisbad.com. This lovely music reminds me that it is the holiday season, and it's also a good time for a public service announcement. This coming to you in the form of News Channel, 7 in Ontario, Canada. They're asking the folks in Ontario to please don't shoot Santa. I'm sorry.
They don't have guns there, do they?
Inflatable Santa.
Oh.
They do, believe it or not, Ken. Guns for, shooting bears and polar bears and,
Well, yeah, I guess that's right.
big rats and such. They're asking that you don't dispatch of the inflatable Santa Claus in Ontario. Apparently, they've had a rash of issues with that going on in Ontario. I don't know much more about it except public service announcement. Please don't shoot Santa. 38 minutes after the hour. I'm going to get to Robert real quick before we get to Nincompoops in the news. Hello, Robert.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
I hear you great, Robert. Thank you.
After hearing y'all talk a moment ago, I wanted to call in and prove beyond doubt that you're older than the pyramids. Would you like me to prove that?
Sure. Sure.
Okay. You were born before 1990, correct?
I was, yes, sir.
Well, then you're older. Then you're older than the pyramid in Memphis and the pyramid in Las Vegas, Nevada, because both were built. I think one was built in 1991, the other one was built in 1992. So there's all the proof you need that you were actually built, or you were actually born before the pyramids were built.
Older than some, but not of others. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Haven't they repurposed the one over in Memphis as a Bass Pro Shop?
Oh, it's awesome. You haven't been?
Oh,
I've never been.
One of the greatest places since they did that, because it's like a big. Last I remember being down there, it was like a big swamp-like theme park.
I've seen videos about the pyramid out in Las Vegas. The huge light that it is one of the most powerful light bulbs like on the planet.
You can see that thing from nearly 3 states over.
Yeah, the shaft of light that comes out of that thing on the top. That it kills like gajillion bugs every year.
I'm still waiting for a 3-eye atlas to send a signal back to it.
Never know.
I appreciate y'all letting me call in.
Thank you, Robert. Yeah, absolutely. I'm old. I'm old. I get it. I'm older than some, not old as others. You know what? Getting old's hell, but it beats Plan B. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
There's only 2 options here.
Nincompoops in
And nobody gets out of this thing alive. It's time for Nincompoops in the News. Super Talk 99.7 WTN this Monday, December 15 edition. Ken Weaver's here. Matt Murphy's here. And Jackson Williams is back from vacation. I won on Friday, by the way, Jackson. So I get to go first, buddy boy. And you're lucky that I don't pick your story that I peeked at when I was in the studio earlier, because I saw that story and I thought about that story, Jackson, but I've decided to be the better man. You would not be the better man, but I've decided to be the better man. How about that?
Oh, how the accusations fly in his old age.
But no, it's the real. Look, this is the first full week of competition now that we have a trophy.
And then we won't have another full week of competition until January.
Yeah, that's true because of holiday schedules and whatnot. So this week's a big deal because the winner of this trophy this week, y'all know we've got a big trophy now. Thank you to the Wellness Institute of Nashville. It is the Nincompoop of the Week trophy, and those that win Nincompoops in the News over the course of a week win the trophy and you retain the trophy. And whoever wins this week is going to retain the trophy into 2026, which is a pretty big deal. And so I shall go first. Gentlemen, I introduce to you a new selection of footwear from Denny's. Denny's. You know, the fine eatery?
Yeah, Pancake House.
Yeah. Well, Denny's has launched new sneakers just in time for National Maple Syrup Day.
They got that sparkle syrup?
I'm not making any of this up. No, they do not. That would take these over the top. The limited edition Sticky Kicks feature real Denny's syrup sealed inside of the shoe and will drop December 17th for $195. Denny's is taking the idea of drip very literally. To celebrate National Syrup Day on December 17th, America's Diner, as they're known, is introducing Sticky Kicks. Once again, I'm not making any of this up. Limited edition high-top sneakers made for Denny's customers with real Denny's syrup sealed inside of the shoes. The over-the-top kicks were created in collaboration with footwear artist Dan Gamici, and who doesn't know Dan and his work, better known as Machi, and are designed to be a fun tribute with a topping that's been fueling Denny's Grand Slam breakfast for decades. Each pair features a clear panel filled with real syrup, syrup-colored patent leather, tumbled yellow accents, and a Denny's logo embossed on the heel. Sticky Kicks are impractical, unnecessary, and completely over the top, which is exactly why we love them, said Ellie Dottie, Senior Vice President and Chief Brand Officer at Denny's. This woman is soon to be fired. She green-lighted this, and she is soon to be unemployed. I promise you that. At Denny's, syrup is not just something we serve. It's a part of who we are. It's our golden thread. So it only makes sense that we would be the first to turn it into fashion. The shoes drop December 17th, this week, this Wednesday, at 12 noon Eastern Time, 11 o'clock Central Time, on dinerdrip.com. Dinerdrip.com. Denny's reward members will get early access an hour before the public. The sneakers will be available in men's sizes 8 to 13 and will cost $195. Jackson, my shoe size is 11 and a half. Thank you.
I was about to say, you asked what I wanted for Christmas.
Don't do this, but don't be cute. Because if you get cute and you get syrup shoes on Christmas morning, and then you're going to wonder what the hell happened and why you got syrup shoes, and I'm going to say you asked for them.
They don't have my size. I'm a 14.
Well, there you go. My nincompoop, whoever green-lighted syrup shoes at Denny's.
All right, number one.
Whoa. Hey, Ken.
Yes, sir.
You're a nincompoop, sir.
Okay. Jackson can go ahead if he wants.
Well, I was just going to say, number one, the word is greenlit, not green-lighted.
Who said green-lighted?
You, like 4 times.
Oh, well, I'm just reading from the story out of Denny'sDrip.com.
The word is greenlit.
Yes, lit. You would understand about being lit, considering what you were doing in Gatlinburg all weekend.
Happy birthday.
Jackson, do you want to go? Ken is giving you free.
Ken, you go.
All right, go.
All right. PUIQ. Sniffing your own farts could boost brain power, fending off Alzheimer's, according to a new study. This is by writer Jeannie Erickson, published on December 13th in the New York Post. Go ahead and get a good whiff of your own farts. Scientists say it could help guard against Alzheimer's. Researchers at Johns Hopkins Medicine have found that hydrogen sulfide, your fart, the chemical compound expelled when one breaks wind, could protect aging brain cells from cognitive decline and Alzheimer's, which is diagnosed in roughly 500,000 new patients each year in the U.S. So, Dr. Bindu Paul, the associate professor at the prestigious medical center and co-author of the study, says our new data firmly link aging, neurodegeneration, and cell signaling using hydrogen sulfide, and other gaseous molecules within the cell. For the trailblazing investigation, researchers used genetically modified mice that mimic human Alzheimer's disease. They injected the mice with a fart-carrying compound called NAGYY, which slowly releases the gas molecules through the body. They didn't smell it. They just injected the fart into the mice.
They didn't smell it. They just dealt it.
After 12 weeks, the scientists tested the mice for changes in memory and motor function, and the results were shocking. The tests revealed both cognitive and motor function improved by a staggering 50% compared to untreated mice. Now get this. Here's another benefit to getting married. Previous research has shown that female farts actually have a significantly higher concentration of hydrogen sulfide than farts from men, meaning women's gas tends to have greater odor intensity than men's, therefore helping to better protect you against Alzheimer's disease.
She who denied it supplied it.
Unfortunately, hydrogen sulfide levels decrease with age.
Oh.
So you youngsters,
So
you better
wait.
start sniffing up.
Hold on a second. This story makes me realize something, guys.
What's that?
Father Flatulence was right.
Yeah.
I mean, Father Flatulence,
Exactly.
Pastor Poots was on to something.
Reverend Rippet, as Jackson called him.
Reverend Rippet had something going on, or
Yes.
has something going on. Huh. Well,
Anyway, so there you go. I
just wanna
really don't
know-
have a nincompoops for it.
They're all nincompoops.
I told myself I've got to read this on the air.
Okay, so I just want to be a fly on the wall in the brainstorming session.
Yes.
Hey, y'all know what we should do?
Inject some.
We should inject some poots. Let's see what happens.
So, did they give the mice Alzheimer's, Ken?
No. They injected farts in them to protect them against Alzheimer's.
Uh-huh. But I guess the nature of Jackson's question is intriguing to me as well. Is that how did they know that these mice were
That's what I want to know,
prone
too.
to Alzheimer's?
And then who amongst them came up with the idea that farts could possibly protect against Alzheimer's?
What if we just farted on them?
Have we poured syrup on them? Yeah, we did syrup. We did moonshine later? Yeah, we did moonshine. Dirt? We put dirt? Yeah, we did dirt. I mean, they go through everything.
Yeah.
Hey. Have we farted on them? No.
I just imagine the intern thinking he had a great idea, and they catch him with his pants down over the mice exhibit, ripping one.
Young man, what in the hell are you? Science!
This is for science.
Young man, we're injecting them, not subjecting them.
Oh, I misunderstood everything.
The mice are in the cage waving a white flag, like, please stop.
Lord.
We're
Have
okay.
those, I mean, there's only so much those mice should have to go through. And being injected with poots is not one of them. Jackson, you're an nincompoop, sir.
Man sues casino after waking up in handcuffs with $75,000 debt he doesn't remember.
Was this in Gatlinburg?
Yeah.
Cherokee. A man is suing the area resort casino and its parent company after waking up in a security holding cell in handcuffs and being told he owed the casino $75,000
Oh, boy.
despite having no memory of how the debt was incurred.
I don't remember that.
Michael Duke Thompson did not smell his own farts, a 64-year-old licensed attorney and longtime player at the casino. Said his last memory from January 23rd, 2024 was leaving the high-limit blackjack room with a few $1,000s in chips. He says he next woke up the following morning in a Las Vegas casino security holding pen, handcuffed and facing tens of thousands of dollars in gambling debt from markers he does not remember signing. According to his federal complaint filed in U.S. District Court for the District of Nevada, Thompson later learned that from his VIP host that he had 8 outstanding markers totaling about $75,000. He claims there were discrepancies between the amount borrowed and his recorded wins and losses. The lawsuit alleges Thompson was incapacitated that night and says signatures on several of the markers only loosely resemble his own.
Yeah, just go ahead and do it.
Thompson's complaint accuses Aria and MGM Resorts International of allowing him to continue gambling while allegedly incapacitated, failing to protect him, and unjustly retaining funds obtained under those circumstances. It also alleges malicious prosecution related to the efforts to recover the debt. The suit argues the markers should be considered invalid or unenforceable due to his condition, or alternatively, that some signatures were forged. Thompson is seeking a jury trial with damages to be determined.
Have either of y'all seen the fabulous feature film Lost in America?
No.
Lost in America is about a man and a woman who sell all their possessions and buy an RV, and they're going to travel the country in retirement. And they get to Las Vegas, and the guy's wife apparently is a gambling addict, and he didn't realize it, and she loses their entire. She loses all their money. It's Albert Brooks is the guy, and so Albert Brooks goes to the casino owner or the manager of the casino and tries to convince him to give him their money back.
Yeah.
And it is the funniest 5 minutes I've ever seen. He goes, no, I was in advertising. This would be great. It would be fabulous. You give us the money back. And he's like, what? We can't give you the money back. That's not how it works. And this guy reminds me of somebody's asking for the money back. He's like, you just give me my money back.
I just need the money back. We're done.
We're done. Just give me my money back and we're fine. Like, no, we can't give you the money back. And in the scene, the guy's like, no, it's an advertising campaign. Think about it. The Desert Inn has heart. The Desert Inn has heart. And the guy, Gary Marshall's just sitting there going, then everyone would want their money back.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
So do they get the money back?
No. Got the money back. Broke as Scooter Brown. Anyway, that's good. That's a pretty good one, Jackson. I don't know that that's a winner, but it's pretty good. You can vote for Ken Weaver. You can vote for Matt Murphy. You can vote for Jackson Williams.
You.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of like my chances. Y'all help us out. There's a trophy on the line. Y'all are going to vote for the Poot guy, aren't you? I knew it. 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. That's how we play Nick Poops in the News. Give us a vote. It's 53 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for Grace Point Healthcare, a direct pay primary care provider right here in Middle Tennessee, in Franklin to be specific. I want you to write this number down, 599-6868. 599-6868. That is the number to monetary savings through the basic smart care plan. Here's how it works. For $99 for the grown-ups, $79 for the kids, you get unlimited office visits for the entire year at Grace Point. You can obviously file with your insurance company for reimbursement after the fact. That's the way that it should be, folks, because insurance companies should not be getting in the way between your treatment with your doctor. They'll even do house calls if you're feeling too bad to leave the home, and they do not believe in waiting. They do not believe in making you wait. So you won't find yourself having to wait a week or two to get in if you're feeling sick. You'll get in same day and next day, and that's even for new patients at Grace Point Healthcare. Grace Point Healthcare, they treat naturally whenever possible. They believe in that sacrosanct relationship between you and your doctor, and I promise you, you'll be happy when you sign up for Grace Point. Exceptional medicine at your convenience. Modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. Call today, 599-6868. We are down to the crunch time, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to Merry Christmas gift giving. Genesis Diamonds really shines this time of year, you know. The cases are jam-packed with all of the best gifts, highest quality at the guaranteed best value around. Engagement rings, of course, diamond bracelets, eternity bands, earrings, pendants, colored stone jewelry, and the pre-owned Rolex watch collection that you have to see to believe and understand. And they have a select group of showcases featuring expertly curated Christmas idea gifts that Genesis is offering at half price. You heard me correctly, 50% off savings, the biggest discount ever. You need to check it out at Genesis Diamonds. Plus, this December at Genesis, you can get a holiday jewelry gift-giving idea, and you can have it for $0 down on approved credit with no interest for 5 years. You can go big without going broke. Pick any item, spread your payment over 5 years, and boom, there you go, $0 interest. So imagine that $3,000 pair of beautiful earrings. It's just $50 a month. You do the math, everything's affordable. Genesis Diamonds, located in Green Hills and Cool Springs, the place for that spectacular holiday gift is found at the one and only Genesis. Tell them that Matt Murphy sent you to Genesis.
Six o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And right now in Tennessee, troubling news for the state's veterans care as News 2 says a Tennessee comptroller's audit claims to have revealed serious issues at state-run veterans' homes. Murfreesboro's rating plunged to 1 star. More than 160 veterans were left off the wait list for months, according to the audit. Nursing turnover soared to past 300% despite bonuses and higher pay. Officials are calling for stronger management, better financial controls. State lawmakers will be taking up this audit in the next session. President Trump in the Oval Office today.
We're formally classifying fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction, which is what it is. No bomb does what this is doing.
He also revealed he's considering reclassifying marijuana.
We are considering that, yeah.
Are you planning?
Because a lot of people want to see it, the reclassification, because it leads to tremendous amounts of research that can't be done unless you reclassify. So we are looking at that very strongly.
And officials in Rhode Island have released new images and videos in connection to the ongoing manhunt for the Brown University shooter from this weekend. ABC's Rena Roy is in Providence with the latest.
This community is on high alert. They are eager to hear an update on this urgent manhunt after that person of interest who was detained was released. And also a few hours ago, new surveillance video, Providence police putting that video out. It is far away. You can't see much, but they say that is the person of interest.
And the FBI announcing a $50,000 reward. Shock in Hollywood and beyond over the murder of actor and filmmaker Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle. Police in Los Angeles say they were found dead at their home in the upscale Brentwood neighborhood. Police also say that Nick Reiner, their son, is in custody on suspicion of murder and on suicide watch. We get more from ABC's Alex Stone outside the Reiner home.
Nick Reiner taken into custody overnight. They had been talking to him, interviewing him through the night, but not calling him a suspect. And then early this morning, making that arrest, $4 million bail. They made the arrest. He is in custody right now in jail.
Sources telling ABC News Reiner's daughter discovered her parents. Meanwhile,
police in New York and in cities across the country are stepping up security for Hanukkah celebrations. after the deadly rampage in Australia. The police commissioner here said that attack was no isolated incident, but part of what she called a wider assault on Jewish life.
Yeah, and here in Nashville, Jewish leaders say they're beefing up security, coordinating with law enforcement for tonight's public lighting of the menorah that is going on downtown. That started at 5:30. And authorities have arrested 5 suspects accused of planning coordinated bombings in Los Angeles on New Year's Eve. The FBI says the group, calling itself the Turtle Island Liberation Front, had improvised explosives ready to target government and law enforcement. Officials described the suspects as motivated by anti-government, pro-Palestinian beliefs.
One of the leaders of the organization, defendant Audrey Carroll, helped organize an even more radical faction of the group called the Order of the Black Lotus. Each of the defendants charged today was also a member of the Order of the Black Lotus.
Yeah, their Instagram reportedly had around 850 followers. Facebook, approximately 32. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Franklin, have a crash reported 65 southbound at Paytonsville Road, Goose Creek Bypass, exit 61. Over by the airport, a crash, off-ramp partially blocked. That'll be 40 westbound off-ramp to Briley Parkway East. In the Belmont area, got a crash 440 westbound there at Hillsborough Pike, 21st Avenue. I'm Ken Weaver.
All right, friends, thank you for being with us this Monday evening. Glad to have you along for the ride. Middle of December, December 15, as a matter of fact. Episode 943 continues. Would love to hear from you. 615-737-9986, 615-737-9986. Obviously, we're covering a lot of stories for you and a lot of breaking items within those stories as well. According to the police in California, Brentwood, California, to be specific, They are now saying specifically that the son of Rob and Michelle Reiner is responsible for their deaths. There are some reports out there. I don't believe that the police, I've not seen over the last several hours, so I might be behind the times on this. I don't believe that they're announcing that Nick Reiner has admitted or has admitted his culpability in the deaths, but there were some reports out there. I don't think police have said that, but I've seen reports that he has, behind the scenes, confessed to the murder of Rob and Michelle Reiner. Sad to see just a brutal attack like that, obviously. As much as I despised Rob Reiner's political viewpoint, I mean, he was a filmmaker extraordinaire, A Few Good Men, great film. Although, as I get older, more and more, I agree with Colonel Nathan Jessup, by the way. When you're a kid, you think that Tom Cruise has got it going on. But now you're like, yeah, I do need you on that wall. I want you on that wall. Stand on that wall, man. Do what you need to do. Take care of your business, Colonel Jessup. Yeah, you can go on back to Cuba. Go on back to Guantanamo Bay. You don't need to sit here and take that crap from Tom Cruise. He's a little snot-nosed know-nothing. At least last time I saw the movie, that's what I thought about it. Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, etc. Anyway, that's the latest on Rob and Michelle Reiner's death, that their son is responsible for their death. Speaking of, sadly, death, the situation that happened out in Australia, my goodness gracious, who knows? I mean, obviously, there were a number of people killed, many others wounded. Why do I feel like I'm going to mispronounce this again? And I've heard it pronounced 100 different times. Bondi. It's not Bondi. That's wrong. It's not like Pam Bondi. It's
Bondi.
It's Bondi. Is that?
I think I'm right.
Ask Weaver when he gets a second. I think you're right too. But Bondi. It's not Bondi. I know it's not Bondi as in Pan, but it's Bondi. It's Bondi with a hard I. Okay, Bondi Beach. At least 15 people have been killed in the shooting at Bondi Beach, and it could have been much, much worse. This is obviously a religiously motivated attack, an anti-Semitic attack, as two individuals, a father and a son of Muslim faith, descended upon Bondi Beach and indiscriminately began firing. We've seen some of the videos. Now we're hearing from a man who single-handedly stopped one of the assailants and potentially saved a lot of lives. His name is Ahmed Al-Ahmed, an Australian immigrant who wrested away the gun from one of the shooters involved in the deadly anti-Semitic attack over the weekend. He, from a hospital bed, according to the Sydney Morning Herald, said that he would do it all over again. He doesn't regret what he did. He said he'd do it again. The pain started to take a toll on him, according to Sam Issa, who is his lawyer. He visited the wounded man, said he's not well at all. He's riddled with bullets. Our hero is struggling at the moment. The wounded father, 44 years of age, has daughters who are 5 and 6 years old. According to the outlet, which reported that he came from Australia to Australia from Syria in 2006 and received citizenship in Australia in 2022. Ahmed's a humble man, not interested in coverage. He just did what he was compelled to do as a human being that day, said Issa. He gets that gratitude from being in Australia. This is his way of conveying his gratitude for staying in Australia and for being granted citizenship. He's appreciated this community and felt that as a member of the community, he had to act in some way. The attack, obviously pure evil, an act of terrorism and anti-Semitism, was deliberately targeting the Jewish community on the first day of Hanukkah, according to the Australian Prime Minister there. And the reports were that Ahmed Al-Ahmed said to his nephew, "Tell my family I love them. I might not come back from this." I'm paraphrasing, but he made those comments before rushing to the scene, finding one of the assailants, wrestling the gun away from the assailant. And frankly, I'm surprised he didn't shoot the guy right there. And he probably would have avoided bullet wounds himself had he done so. But he chose not to do so. Then there is the story coming out of Rhode Island, and new videos have been released showing the suspect, a person of interest, hours before the shooting. By now, you've probably gotten the timeline. The shooting happened over the weekend at Brown University. The Providence Police Department claimed that they had gotten a person of interest or an actual suspect in the case. Turns out that person was not involved, and they eventually had to release that person. Authorities are now describing the person of interest who was walking the streets hours before a gunman opened fire at Brown as someone approximately 5 feet 8 inches tall with a stocky build. Images show a person dressed in dark clothing with a face mask and a beanie walking in what appears to be a residential area. The gunman, quote, definitely targeted, end quote, Brown University, although authorities are looking into other possible motivations. What I can tell you is that this individual targeted Brown. Obviously, it's something we're looking into. Perez, that would be Colonel Oscar Perez, a spokesperson at a press conference, said that the families of the victims had been cooperative and that authorities were attempting to investigate reports that the gunman yelled something during or before the shooting. I think we know what that could be. I mean, obviously, yelled something, yelled what? Did he yell Allahu Akbar? Is that where they're trying to? I mean, maybe he didn't. But I would say smart money is it that he did. First day of Hanukkah, etc. Providence Mayor Brett Smiley was asked if he had spoken to the university about its alarm system, deferred the question to others, which did not, to Brown specifically, University. They did not have a spokesperson at the evening news conference where authorities released new images of a person of interest. So that's story number 3. One wonders if this was related to Hanukkah. One wonders what was yelled at the time of the shooting. I mean, obviously, speculation leads you directly to a lack of information leads to speculation. I've been saying that for years. Speculation leads you directly to Allah Akbar, directly to the idea that Hanukkah was starting over the weekend. Maybe it's because we see what happened in Australia and we see what happened at Brown, and we're kind of creating some level of connective tissue between the two. I would say this as well. What would you expect? Over the last year, we watched as Donald Trump became president of the United States of America for his second term back in January, not a year ago. And, you know, there were protests all over college campuses. There were protests about the situation in the Middle East with Hamas and Israel fighting in the Gaza Strip, and, free Palestine, and globalize the intifada. We were told, globalize the intifada. Well, what do you think that means? What is an intifada, and why would you want to globalize it? Is that not what happened in Australia yesterday? Potentially what happened at Brown University over the weekend? And then this. 4 members of a left-wing pro-Palestinian extremist group were arrested over the weekend for allegedly planning to bomb Los Angeles on New Year's Eve. The individuals are members of an organization called the Turtle Island Liberation Front, which I understand, as I said at the beginning of the show, I understand that it's easy to make fun of this. I understand that this is a joke waiting to happen. But what they were trying to do and what they wanted to do and what they would have accomplished were it not for the law enforcement community is no joke. The individuals were targeting property and facilities operated by 2 separate companies that are used or engaged in activities affecting interstate and foreign commerce, according to an FBI affidavit. Suspects were arrested in the Lucerne Valley this weekend while testing explosives in the Mojave Desert. The Turtle Island Liberation Front is a far-left, pro-Palestinian, anti-government, anti-capitalist group preparing to conduct a series of bombings against multiple targets in California beginning on New Year's Eve. The group also planned to target ICE agents and vehicles, according to Attorney General Pam Bondi. The 4 individuals, their names, Audrey Carroll, Zachary Page, Dante Gaffield, and Tina Lay, L-A-I, charged with conspiracy and possession of an unregistered destructive device. I didn't think you could register such things. The operation in an 8-page document provided to a confidential source in late November. The document detailed a plan to plant backpacks with explosives to be simultaneously detonated at 5 separate locations, targeting 2 U.S. companies at midnight New Year's Eve. When the group went to construct and detonate test explosive devices in the Mojave Desert, the FBI intervened and arrested the 4 co-conspirators. The group also planned to target ICE in January or February of 2026. Authorities recovered bomb-making materials and signs that read, "Death to ICE, death to America, long live Turtle Island and Palestine." TILF believes in, quote, full decolonization and land back for all occupied and oppressed peoples in the world. Land back to where? Wait, I've wondered this, not to pick nits here and not to get obsessed with the smaller details, but these people that want decolonization and they want to go back to the way things used to be, at what point in human history do you want to go back to? All of us are from somewhere else. Just about. I mean, I suppose you can get it back to the source material, and that would be somewhere in North Africa, I think. If my world history class has not failed me. I haven't thought about this in 35 years, so I might be wrong. All of us are from somewhere else. And I agree with our buddy Matt Walsh, and I agree as someone who has, quote unquote, American Indian in me. I mean, my grandfather was a Cherokee Indian. His father was full-blooded Cherokee. His mother was half Cherokee, so he wasn't a full-blooded Cherokee Indian, but he was close enough. And so I'm a descendant of the Cherokee tribe. That said, I don't consider myself any more of a Native American than any other American. Prior to the United States of America's existence, there wasn't a United States of America. I think that goes without saying. And so how in the world would we suggest that there were Native Americans before America existed? Makes zero sense. Words mean things. Now, if you want to say that there were people on this continent before the United States of America came here, fair point. And those people still exist. Many of them, or descendants of those folks, still exist. Anyway, a recent post from the TILF-LA also professes peaceful protest will never be enough. We are up against fascist colonizers with no morals, no sense of justice or what's right. So there you go. Those items, I mean, this is a feel-good holiday season thus far. We got Rhode Island. We have Australia. We have a plot foiled in Los Angeles by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I also have some results from Nincompoops in the News. I'll share some of those results with you in a moment. Jackson, doesn't look good for you. Doesn't look good for me. Looks pretty good for Weaver. It's 20 after the hour on Super Talk. Hi, friends. Matt Murphy here for our friends at Nashville Safe House. Have you been by? If you're looking for the last-minute shopping idea, and I don't know that it's last minute. I mean, some guys are just waking up to the idea that they've got to go shopping. Well, fellas or ladies, if you're looking for a home run gift that can protect you and your family, what about a safe from the Nashville Safe House? Nashville Safe House has all shapes, all sizes, all varieties. They've got all price points and all budgets. They also have all fire ratings imaginable, and they've got discounts on almost every safe in stock. Friends, ask them about the discounts with Browning. Ask them about the discounts from other brand names, and you'll find them at Nashville Safe House. You'll also find a professional delivery crew. Don't let a crackhead deliver your safe this holiday. You need someone professional that you would allow in your home and would not have a problem with it, and you'll find those professional delivery crews exclusively at Nashville Safe House. They're the finest safe dealer in the Southeast, and that means they're the finest safe dealer in the United States of America, and that extends to the world. It's Nashville Safe House, right across the street from City Cemetery on 4th Avenue South, online at NashvilleSafeHouse.com. See the bargains, see the deals, see the shapes, see the sizes at Nashville Safe House, and go see them for yourself on 4th Avenue South. Hi, friends. It's Matt Murphy for the one and only Glock store. Have you ever wondered, or have you been wondering, what to get that guy or gal in your life that absolutely loves the Second Amendment, the Constitution of the United States of America? Well, it's never too early to start thinking about it, and it's never too early to save, especially when you visit your friends, or my friends, I should say, at the Glock store and glockstore.com. And I've mentioned both the store and the website for a reason. The huge Glock store Christmas sale is going on right now. They have incredible discounts on virtually everything they sell. In fact, there's so much on sale, the best way to get all of the deals is to go to glockstore.com. You check out the incredible deals on optics, barrels, compensators, magazines, extensions, extended controls, slide cuts, and incredible deals on factory rebuilt Glocks as well. And if you can't tell the difference, you shouldn't pay the difference, and that's their motto at the Glock store. Once you've filled your cart, just check out and choose pick up in store as the shipping option. As soon as your order's ready, they'll give you a call and let you know it's time to go and get it. It really could not be easier than that. I mean, friends, you can come in and you can shop at the store. I mean, and they invite you to do that. But you can shop right in the convenience of your own home on your laptop, computer, or whatnot, and then go and pick it up when it's ready. It's a huge Christmas sale going on right now at glockstore.com and the Glock store retail showroom, minutes away from the airport and worth the drive from anywhere. It's the incomparable Glock store. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Matt Murphy, The Matt Murphy Show. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. 26 after the hour. Would love to hear from you if you want to jump on the horn. By all means, 615-737-9986, 615-737-9986. Any concept as to what to do. I want to remind you of a Murphy maxim that we talk about regularly on the show regarding security versus liberty. Before I do, however, someone mentioned that 65 southbound looks like a parking lot right around Franklin, I guess it is. That would be, Franklin Road, Highway 90, or Nolensville Pike, or whatever it's called. Highway 96. There's an accident just south of 96 that is causing you to screech the brakes if you're heading southbound. That way, on my SmartWays map, it says that there might be even two accidents or two little incidents. But one way or the other, that's the big red that I see on the screen. So for those of you heading home, going that way, that is your issue. Just be on the lookout and be careful. It'll be there when you get there. Don't fret. With regard to France, Paris has canceled their open-air concerts in advance of New Year's Eve. They decided to dim the lights on their annual New Year's Eve festivities along the iconic Champs-Élysées. I may be mispronouncing that, but I don't care. It's French. The massive midnight concert draws a jubilant crowd of over 1 million people with regularity. The festivities draw throngs to the most, quote, beautiful avenue in the world for the last 6 decades, and it has now been scrapped and replaced with a pre-recorded video to be viewed in the safety and comfort of French living rooms. This, according to the New York Post. The fireworks will still illuminate the Arc de Triomphe when the clock strikes 12, but officials are urging revelers to watch on television rather than in person. The soirée, it seems like the New York Post is being cute. They're using a lot of French terms. The soirée will be a far cry from the famed French Voix de Verrières, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, in years past. Champs-Élysées, the famed avenue, has become a flashpoint of violence with throngs of young, mostly Muslim migrants streaming in from the suburbs at night looking for trouble, looting stores, and brawling with Parisians and police alike. The Paris police, which pressed the mayor to scrap the concert, cited security concerns such as unpredictable crowd movement. You know, this is what you get when you have an open-door immigration policy without regard for vetting the individuals that you're allowing into your country, right? I mean, France is an example of what happens. Now, their problem, in my opinion, is self-made. Their problem exists because of their open-door policy where they allow individuals to come into the country without regard for whether or not those individuals coming into the country have any respect for the country's customs and norms. Are we not seeing the same type of activity here in the United States of America? Look, I don't care what religion you are, but you're in America. I don't care what faith you practice, but you're in America. And do not expect that we're going to change our cultural norms to fit your religious beliefs. We're not. Thank you very much. And several of you are telling me how to pronounce the Champs-Élysées or whatever the hell it is, and I don't care. I love y'all. Thank you for helping me out, but these are cheese-eating surrender monkeys, and I don't care about them. Although we could learn something from what's going on over there right now. They've now chosen security over liberty because, sadly, their immigration policies have been so lax, they've allowed a significant amount of immigrants into their country that has no respect for their norms, no respect for their culture, no respect for freedom. And we're seeing it in certain pockets of the United States of America as well. Those that choose, as Franklin once said, those that choose security over liberty deserve nor get neither. And in a freedom-loving society such as ours, there are certain risks. But we can minimize the risks by ensuring that those that we allow into the United States of America, at very least, have an appreciation for our customs, our traditions, our belief structure, and at very least have a tolerance for all of those things. But the last thing we should do is capitulate. The last thing that we should do is lay down our values and say, you know what, you're right. We shouldn't gather because of the fear that someone might do something. What we ought to do is err on the side of caution when it comes to allowing people into the United States. I've long said that we need a policy, a moratorium on immigration, so we can get a handle on who likes being here and who doesn't seem to like being here very much. And if you don't seem to like being here very much, maybe there's a better place for you somewhere in the world. More on that coming up. 615-737-9986. Would love to hear from you as well. Phone lines open right now. 32 after the hour. Super Talk. Hi, friends. Matt Murphy for Eurofix. If you want to know about a place where European auto repair doesn't feel like European auto repair, it's Eurofix. Eurofix is not your typical garage, greasy or otherwise. Waiting rooms are clean and inviting. They're comfortable. Service areas are spotless because they believe in taking care of everything from tip to stern regarding your European automobile repair. They have a rock-solid 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty on all repairs that they perform at below-dealer pricing, I might add. You don't have to put up with dealer prices or get ghosted when you're waiting on a callback. Eurofix believes in fixing your car the right way at the right price. They can fix everything European, plus a rental car available with your appointment. Locations in Nashville, Franklin, Belmead, Murfreesboro, and Mount Juliet. 844 Eurofix. That's 844 Eurofix, or online at myyurofix.com. Myyurofix.com. All right, I'm gonna try this one more time. Hello, friends. It is the Matt Murphy Radio Show, by the way. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Champs-Élysées. Why are you making that face? Did I not say it right again? Huh. I am, I'm getting hell from the Super Talk text line. Champs-Élysées?
Nothing for that song?
That's Blue Christmas by Elvis. Yeah. I prefer the Porky Pig version. Champs-Élysées, are you not going to give me one way or the other? Thumbs up, thumbs down? You don't know. You don't know? Thumbs halfway. Okay. Wait a minute. Where did it go? Oh, TB says, for a man who insists on pronouncing the W in sword and the L in salmon, it's disappointing to hear you brush away the correct pronunciation of Champs-Élysées and other famous French landmarks. But I do agree with you, screw the French. Well, yeah. I mean, of course. They helped us out in the American Revolution. Last good thing they did. We fought for liberty. They fought for equality, and we see who won that. So I hope I'm doing it better. And, yeah, I fight for the correct pronunciation of words that have – I mean, salmon is a perfectly acceptable way to pronounce the word. There's an L in it. I don't believe in these I don't believe in these silent letters not pulling their weight. So sword is sword. Dwarf is dwarf. And if you hear a knock at the door, you better answer it. Or answer it. Jeff is next. Hey, Jeff.
Hey. Parlez-vous français?
Come see, come ça. I don't know. What's up, man?
Man.
What's up, man?
Hey, yeah, I heard on a radio show today and everything, and it made sense to me. This massacre we had over in Australia, they call them Muslim extremists. Well, actually, they're not extremists. They're Muslim fundamentalists, because basically they're following the Quran as it is, is written, basically. Because and there they has, a tree says, "Oh, good Muslim, come kill this Jew that's hiding behind me." You either believe as they believe, or you should die. And the extremist was the man who stopped them, because he's not following the Muslim law as it would be. So it makes perfect sense that these are fundamentalists, absolute fundamentalists, I guess you would say.
Yeah, I mean, I fully understand what you're saying, and obviously we've had that conversation regarding, there are many within the Muslim faith that would say that any Muslim that would want to kill other Muslims those are the extremists. There are others that would suggest that those are infidels because they're not really following the Muslim faith as dictated by Muhammad. So one way or the other, I don't care what faith you are. I just want you to not kill other people based on their faith or based on their lack thereof.
Yeah. And Christianity went through something like this, with the Spanish Inquisitions and basically in the Dark Ages, where you've had to profess Christ or whatever, they would torture you or kill you to. And, but we've all advanced from that, and everything. And now it's a loving religion, and it's, you profess what's in your heart, and you ask people to come willingly. But the Muslims are basically stuck in the Stone Ages, some parts of them. And, I hope they come out of that, and come to at least modernize the religion to where, to the point of where Christianity is nowadays.
Well, I'll say this, when we discover or when we see instances where individuals commit acts of violence and they do so in the name of the Christian faith, those seem to be fewer and further between. But when they happen, you notice immediate and almost total denunciation of what the individual responsible for the killings or responsible for the violence might be saying. From elders within any church organization or church group, et cetera. And I don't get that a lot from, I mean, has anyone seen leadership within the Muslim community in Australia denouncing the shootings that happened in their name? I mean, maybe it's happened and I've not seen it. Obviously, that's a half a world away, but I can't say that I've seen it, Jeff.
That's true, and it should be denounced. But I think a lot of people are afraid of the Muslims. That's why they kind of rule out these other countries that they've basically taken over, because they are a violent bunch. Whenever they, they're willing to die for their cause, basically. And if you get in the way, the extreme part of them, things are going to happen. And I believe a lot of these countries have got all these Muslim population in their country now, and they're kind of afraid of them.
Well, and we're watching in certain parts of our country the activity that we saw 15 or 20 years ago in Europe, right? I mean, these growing voting blocks of Muslim voters that are voting in a manner consistent with their religious faith as opposed to consistent with our belief in allowing individuals to live a life of their own choosing in a freedom-loving society. And sadly, if we didn't have, and thank you, Jeff, for the call. If we did not have the First and Second Amendment, well, the Bill of Rights, really, but if we didn't have the First Amendment of the Constitution, we would be a lot closer to where Europe is. We would be a lot closer specifically to where the UK is. Thank God our founding fathers saw fit to give us that barrier against the encroachment of government, to tell us what we may or may not say or may not think or may not express. In the UK, they can't call it out Tommy Robinson has been fighting this fight for a long time. They can't call out Muslim violence when they see it. They can't call out Muslim radical extremism when they see it. They can't call out the rape gangs when they see them. And it's high time we recognize that the radicalization of the faith has not ended. The war on terrorism isn't over. They lie in wait. They have insane amounts of patience. And they want to do dastardly acts against us. And they'll pick a time of their choosing and try to do it. So, it's one of the reasons that I don't, there are certain podcasters who will go unmentioned by me because I'm not going to give negative energy vampires the energy that they so desire by naming them. But that, make these predictions. And you see it all the time on social media platforms. Oh, a new 9/11 attack is coming soon. And then when anything happens like what happened in Bondi Beach, I told you, well, that wasn't anything like 9/11. Stop it. Just stop it. It was an attack. And you can at any moment claim that one, if you have foreknowledge of an attack, why in the hell aren't you doing something about it? Number two, anybody can just declare there will be an attack, and if there's never one, no one notices and no one thinks to go back and call you on it. Number two, you can make claim that, oh, well, that's the one that I was talking about virtually at any point because there is bound to be a terrorist-style attack, particularly against people of faith, non-Muslim faith, every month or so. And yes, TB, you're right. One of the reasons that they can't speak freely in England and specifically in London is because they elected a Muslim mayor. And he is cracking the whip, if you will, on freedom of speech, particularly with regard to what you can and cannot say on social media platforms. Something that will come to the United States of America, and they will claim that it is in the interest of religious freedom. But they don't care about your freedom to worship or not worship as you choose. They only care about theirs. Sadly, the people that are attempting to advance these claims of religious freedom, but they do so in the spirit of preventing you from being able to speak freely or preventing you from being able to do certain things that you want to do in an open society that they don't want to do because of their religious faith. Well, that's fine. You don't have to do them, but you don't get to tell me that I can't, although they think they do. 49 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hi, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Men of Valor. When you support Men of Valor, you're supporting a ministry that wins men within the prison system to Jesus Christ and disciples them so they can re-enter society as men of integrity. You know, often these men, well, not often, almost always these men enter the prison system as takers. They've taken something from someone, whether it's innocence or money through burglary and whatnot. I mean, a lot of different crimes, and they do the time for the crimes committed. But what type of men do you want coming out? Because well over 90% of the men that go into the system are going to come out at some time or another. The Army of Staff and volunteers, they minister directly to the incarcerated. And Men of Valor lowers the recidivism rate and gets you such a return on your money from over 70% nationwide to less than 15% across the state of Tennessee for graduates of the Men of Valor program. That is success, friends. And your support breeds that success. Will you help? Give as you can, or volunteer, if you will, to the organization that is Men of Valor. Go to movministry.com. That's movministry.com and tell them that Matt Murphy sent you to Men of Valor.
Selling your home can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, no stress. Work with the #1 real estate team in the U.S. and close with confidence. Go to markspain.com today.
Hey, this is Pastor Al, and join us on Super Talk 99.7, Sunday evenings from 7 to 8. We're going to look at the news from a biblical perspective.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I don't feel like we got a full report from Gatlinburg, Tennessee from you today, Jackson. I just, maybe we can sprinkle in further information as the week goes on, but as the show slowly winds down to a close, I feel like we've not gotten the full report. Is that on purpose?
No, I mean, just
who all was there? Just family?
Just family. Me, my sister, my brother-in-law, and my mom.
No dad?
Dad hates Gatlinburg.
Huh. So your dad, wait a minute. Hold on a second. When's the last time you were in Gatlinburg?
Probably 2-3 years ago.
Your dad, when's the last time your dad was in Gatlinburg?
They stopped there for a night probably a year ago.
So he's in AF, not a fan.
Not a fan.
Okay. So he stayed back.
Yes, he says he'd rather throw $20 bills down the street than walk the strip of Gatlinburg.
He needs to come my way. I mean, I'll take a couple bucks. So, okay. Well, we'll get some full reports then. I mean, we know that you saw a bear.
Saw a bald eagle.
You saw a bald eagle in flight?
Yes.
That's pretty nice. Did you see the classy nature of the almost Heisman winner, Diego Pavia, over the weekend?
Not surprised.
Is anybody surprised?
Vandy fans, they think he's the, creme de la creme.
The bee's knees, if you will. And well, he's not. I mean, if you've missed it, Diego Pavia made an a-hole of himself after being part of the Heisman ceremony over the course of the weekend. He did not win the Heisman, by the way. He came in second place, and I don't think he deserved it. I mean, look, whatever. I'm not a Heisman voter. I never will be. I don't really care about these types of awards, but Diego Pavia finished runner-up to the Heisman Trophy winning Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza. Apparently, he posted a video that said "Bleep Indiana" at one point on it. Mm-hmm. There was some
video
sort of video board that was saying that. And then at some point, he posted some sort of photo or Instagram post of himself where they were like, F the Heisman voters.
Yes.
I'm with family or whatever. Well, he has now
written a ChatGPT apology.
It really does appear to be a ChatGPT apology. I would agree with you there. It says, being part of the Heisman ceremony last night as a finalist was such an honor. As a competitor, just like in everything I do, I wanted to win. To be so close to my dream and to come up short was painful. I didn't handle these emotions well at all and did not represent myself the way I wanted to. Somebody told him that maybe his draft stock was going a little bit lower than it already is. Look, I don't wish this guy anything other than what he deserves. Is that fair enough? I don't wish this guy anything other than what he deserves. And right now it feels like he's got a little bit of an attitude, a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, and I have no idea why. I mean, why you got a chip? People love you at Vandy. People enjoyed college football fans, not named Jackson Williams, loved watching you play this year. I mean, big fun. Yay. You were an exciting player. Congratulations. What will he go, Jackson? 5th round?
Undrafted.
You don't think he'll get drafted? Somebody take a flyer on him?
No.
Too short? He's short.
He's also like 28.
Is he really?
It's like 26.
Was he not? Did he not at some point sue for another year of eligibility?
Yeah,
or
he's
something
currently
like that?
suing to try to get another year in college.
Why would he want another year in college?
Because
he knows
he's already peaked in his life.
I'm trying to be neutral.
I'm not.
You don't like him?
No.
I don't think he has very much class. I'll say that. I've been doubted my whole life. Who doubted you? I didn't doubt you.
That's the fair part. That is the only fair part of the.
Has he been doubted his whole life?
I mean, yeah, he was a JUCO QB.
Okay. I mean, I didn't know him until he was a quarterback at Vanderbilt. Well, good for you. I'm glad you apologized, even though someone probably told you that it was something that you might want to put in the old chat GP and let it spit out an apology. Seemed to be a pretty good one. One way or the other, class is a word that starts with a CL and ends with ass. Mark Levin is up next. We'll have a Tuesday edition of the radio show coming up tomorrow starting at 3 o'clock. Jackson Williams will be here. Ken Weaver will be here. I will be here. Until then, have a great evening, folks. Hug your loved ones. So long, everybody.